their logic. Much love to you, my brother 30K, who is the current sponsor of the show with I believe $20, but I guess it's about to be tied. My brother Mont said, Ali, you bullying people with the $2 super chat. No, Lucky set up an alley oop. She know what she did, and that brother like lost herself. So I ain't do that to nobody else. That's the second time. I'm gonna tell y'all respectfully. I'm gonna start taking people heads off. Like if I try to be respectful to you and I give grace 5 times, including Either Man. No, I'm joking, Either Man. You know I'm playing. I'm going straight at your head, yo. I'm not doing this playing around with stuff with people anymore. I'm trying my best to run a show and respect the people, the women and the men. And y'all know who I am too. Most of the people on the panel. If people go crazy, I'm about to go. We going crazy, man. Just like Fantastic and Six just did. Mills with the $2 super chat. What's up, Ali, my brother? And Lucky, good looking, great. Much love to you, Mills. And then Tony Golden with the $2 super chat. Crunch time equals Hail Mary. That's crazy. That was crazy. And Lucky was co-signing. Zero Fallout with the $10 super chat. The stay-at-home wife myth needs to be dropped from the red pill space. Only royalty and rich men could have stay-at-home wives throughout history. Regular men only had from 1940s to the 1970s. Much love for you, my brother. Zero Fallout.
We just got $10, kinfolk. You know what that means, right? We back on our feet again. I ain't gonna hold you. Support the healing people.
And then Miss Peach with a 222 with the $10 super chat. Thanks for getting me through the rest of my shift. Would like to hear more versatile topics if possible. All love. Men and women ain't disagreeing. I'm gonna keep talking about that till my lungs collapse because relationships are getting worse. Baby making is getting worse, and families are getting worse. And then we get caught up in the politic and religious conversation or race conversation when men and women can't even get along. And it's getting entirely worse. So Ali's gonna beat that to the ground. And if sometimes you don't like watching it, just tune into another channel. But I love you. Tony Golden with the gifted membership. Much love to you, man. I truly appreciate it, y'all. We need 19 more memberships, y'all. We got our super chat goals. We need, let me see, 55 more in the Cash App. And then we need just 19 more memberships to reach our goals. Much love to you, my brother Tony Golden. And then the brother, the original CMC with the $2 super chat. Salute to Ali. Great show. I truly appreciate it, my brother. Just don't make me mad. And then my brother, the Murray, just supporting with the $10 Cash App, just supporting, staying in the clouds. Much love to you, my brother. I truly appreciate that. And then the one and only P.O. hit us with $20 as well, too, from the Cash App. Again, much love, my brother. And then, again, I'm asking y'all, 300 people watching, again, please like and subscribe. If anybody would like the simulcast, I have no problem with it. Y'all know we support y'all building and growing as well, too. So if you like the simulcast, you're more than welcome to hit that button to the top right corner. If you're not familiar with it, it's to the top right corner with the screen that you're looking at. It's a stream to your audience if you would like to do that. And if someone is streaming, hey, make sure y'all donate to them. Make sure you support them. Make sure you gifting them memberships as well, too. So much love to y'all. My brother, CEO, I feel like you still ain't talk.
Wait, yeah. Before you go, you did ask a question. I wanted to get a chance to answer.
It's fantastic, man. Of course.
I'm asking. So yeah, so CEO, brother, again, I understand the art of debate and conversations, right? Things get better by people being challenged. If you, from an engineering standpoint, you learn this, right? So if you come up with a concept and you just say, "Oh, it's going to work," and no one ever challenges you to say, "Well, hey, man, the math isn't math, and this isn't working, this angle isn't right, or this metal isn't strong enough, so on and so forth," right? It's bound to fail. Iron sharpens iron. The colloquialism that a lot of people use. A lot of people that aren't used to a level of that mindset, and a person that claims to be extremely intelligent but lacks that, shows me their lack of intelligence and their lack of awareness and just their lack of a lot of things that people claim to be. I don't take any of this stuff personal, right? I never make it personal, but once it's made personal, oh, nobody can beat me at that. You feel me? So I keep the conversation about the conversation every single time. But as a man, if you want to get into some man shit, that's what I'm all about. You feel me? In any way, shape, form, or fashion. And everything I say, this ain't on a tough guy shit. I say here, I will say anywhere, right? Because I'm just talking about the conversation. Never taking it personal. I'm never bringing my anecdotal thing into it, and so on and so forth and whatnot, my life story and shit. Hey, man, you know, it is what it is. But that's where I'm coming from. So I have no beef with any individual over a computer screen. I am simply countering a question or countering a concept or countering an ideology for the sake of furthering the conversation and balancing it out. Otherwise, it'd be an echo chamber, brother. So that's my piece.
My brother CEO.
Yeah, you said something that I agree with. Unfortunately, I have 3 baby moms, and they do.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they do be trying to keep me away from the kids, and then wonder why I get better results from the kids than they do. So, to what you were saying earlier, with a woman would work hard to keep the kids, the father out the kids' lives, and we would never do that. No matter what they did to me, I would never feel like they shouldn't be around their kids, especially if they carried them for 9 months.
And respect, it's respectfully, it's innate. If when y'all were in elementary school, middle school, high school, and you saw a kid all out of control and all jacked up, nobody ever goes, "Hey man, I know they ain't got no mama." The first thing you'll say is, "I know they ain't got no daddy." That's it's your instinct. I say, I like, yo, Lil, he acting crazy. I know he ain't got no daddy. You don't say they ain't got no mama, and not saying that they don't need their mama, but the man is very imperative in that child's life, and ultimately the most valuable. We can't deny that, and women know it too. If they weren't the most valuable, then women wouldn't be complaining about men not being there either. They should be having autonomy over their own body, my choice, living their best life, and that kid should be super productive. You shouldn't go, my kid can't read because his daddy in his life. My kid poor because his daddy in his life. We struggling because there ain't no man in the life. It shows and demonstrates how valuable that man is in all of our lives. Go ahead, my brother Rush, and then my brother Eda Man. Actually, hold on. It was my brother, no, Rush, then Big Aaron, then Eda Man. Eda Man, you try to cut the line. You always trying to cut. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I think being a housewife is like a privilege. Now, man, like a lot of these chicks, that's like playing that role right now. Like they're not being honest about the situation, and females should keep it a buck, and let people know that it's dope to be a housewife, man. Nah, I mean, it's your boy Rush tapping in. You heard? Talk to him.
Man, boy, you silly boy. Hey, let me ask you a question. Should you have to convince a woman to want to be a wife? It's all my life. All the brothers on the panel as well, too. Women were always trying to convince a man to get in the relationship, into the marriage. So what happens when you work so hard to get this thing that you don't value or respect? I don't understand it. My brother Big Aaron, can you answer that? And I'm sure you had the same experience. Most men would stay right out in the field. You have no worries. You can smash. And I know Sophisticated Jerk, I know you was outside too. You ain't gonna lie to nobody. Before you got married, I know you was in them streets bodying women, right?
I was a saint. No, I'm playing. I was in the streets.
Fantastic. Rodney, Big Aaron, CEO, all of y'all. A woman convinced you to be in a relationship with her. A woman convinced you to marry her, which means it was supposed to benefit you, but she knew it would benefit her as well too. What makes women, I'm gonna ask you, Big Aaron, fight so hard to get this very thing that they ultimately end up not respecting or cooperating in? And I'm not talking about the married brothers. They get cooperation from their women who are lovely women who love and is purposeful, and who Six was talking about. They get that type of woman. But what happens to these women that run after this goal, this achievement, and all of a sudden don't respect it or cooperate with it? My brother Big Aaron.
Yeah, I think it's a classic case of women want the wedding, but they don't want the marriage. See, when it comes to being married, you have a great deal of responsibility, not only to yourself now, but to your spouse, right? A lot of their life is predicated on what you do. And that kind of responsibility can not only be overwhelming, but eventually unattractive. And I don't think women go into it really fully understanding the kind of work and responsibility that's required of them to be married. And the same can be said for men, right? Like that's not a one-way requirement. But I think men are a little more prepared because society demands that we're more prepared. to be responsible in a relationship, if by virtue of the fact that we're responsible for paying for the first date and providing the scintillating conversation for the entire date, whereas the woman gets to lay back and enjoy the ride. And then the nature of that dichotomy continues to compound from there on in through marriage. But it takes a good woman, a decent woman, and a balanced woman to understand that in marriage, she's going to be responsible for her husband just as he is responsible for him. You get what I'm saying? Both ways, but in very different ways, right? Like my wife is my opposite, but that's what makes us complete. Where I'm weak, she's strong, right? And she covers my 6. Even though I'm the leader of this family, she support. My dad said, the man's the head, the woman is the neck. She supports and guides and turns that head in the direction it needs to go to be able to see what's coming to make decisions properly. Right? My woman provides, she provides excellent perspective. She sees things that I don't see. Right? She's aware of things that I'm not aware of. She has my 6. Right? When we walk into a room, she's analyzing the people, I'm analyzing the situation. You can't do both at the same time. You'll lose. That's why Germany lost the war. They're spread on 2 fronts. Spread too thin. But women, I think, just to answer your question in a nutshell, I don't think they're really prepared or even fully understand the responsibility that is to befall them once they become married. You're muted, Mr. Ali.
Eda, man, I'm gonna ask you something different. And I think the difference between what happened?
Go ahead. I wanted to comment on that, but if you want me,
go ahead. No, Eda, man, go ahead. No, Eda, man. No, I didn't know. I didn't realize you were.
let me ask you the question. Make sure my perspective right first. Quick question. Do you think men are equipped? Can you hear me?
You asking Big Aaron, right? You going back?
No, Ali, you.
Okay,
Ali.
Go ahead.
So just quick, yes or no. Do you believe that majority of men are equipped to be husbands in relationships today? Yes. Or no? Yes, perfect. All right, look, can I make my statement then? I just wanted to make sure. I was trying to see what was the truth of what Fantastic was saying and what Mr. Six was saying outside of the insults, right? If I measure on discipline, Fantastic is 100% right. Like men are better disciplinary actions than women. But if we have majority of men today being actually raised by single mothers and they're equipped for relationships, that means that single mothers are equipping these men for relationships, right? So so I start looking this up. I said, hey, what's the benefit of having a mother versus a father? When I start doing my research, I know Fantastic might do better research than me. What I realize is people who typically have a mother are typically better at relationships and being able to actually be with the person a lot better, men-wise. And then if you take a woman or if you take a man who don't have a woman, they typically worse at being in relationships. So if I measure how they function with other people versus how they actually discipline, it depends on what I'm measuring. But both of them have a benefit. That's why I think God gave us both.
Go ahead, Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's a correlation causation fallacy, brother. And then furthermore, like you said, being that we know there's been a steep decline in the marriage rates that coincides with the single mother rate, that actually is proof more so to counter your claim, right? So, well, again, I'm letting everybody say that and not saying that while they're saying it. Let me get it out, right? So what I'm saying is this, right? Just because you have a mother, which we all have a mother, and we know for the most part, the women are going to end up with custody of the children. A man finding out and figuring out on his own, you can't accredit that to the mom. And that's what most of us have done. Most of us make it in spite of, not because of our parents, especially if there's a negative situation. Okay. Even though the single mother thing leads in, a lot of bad outcomes, most of the single mother things aren't completely, totally bad outcomes. It's 70% of the people that are in prison or 80% of the people that are in prison come from single mother households, not 80% of the people come from single mother households end up in prison. That's where people conflate and get confused, right? So overall, when you make the comparison of the better outcomes, and then we know higher earners means more. The higher men earn, the more they get married, right? Higher earners come from either 2-parent households or single father households. All of the data coincides with the man being more capable and the discipline being the most important part of the situation, because an emotional ass man with no discipline, that leads to a horrible husband. I think we would all agree with that in a consensus, right? A man that just feels a lot and has no discipline, has no order, has no direction, no structure, he's doomed to fail. So no, like I said, you first off, it was a correlation causation fallacy, and then furthermore, the other data lines up on the positive from the other side.
So I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. Fantastic. Have you looked in what's the benefit of having a mother over a father? Have you looked into that data?
Well, that's not a data thing outside of the outcomes. So hold on. Well,
it is data. You the data guy. Listen, it is definitely data out there on that.
Let me finish. So outside of the outcomes, what data are you talking about? Because you're talking about mental health issues and so on and so forth. I promise you, the single mother is going to have more mental health issues. Hold on. Well, you said no, so you're challenging my data. So what I'm going to give you now is the data to show that I know what I'm talking about. So people that are on antidepressants and mental health issues, criminality, the worst things of life, the majority of them come from single mother households. That's the data, right? And the people that come from single mother households, if I had a bet money, I would say they have higher divorce rates than people that come from 2-parent households. Right? This is me taking a wild guess. I don't think there's no data on that. But if you did do that data, I promise you that's how it would align. So whatever other data,
I'm telling you,
let him finish. Hey, let him land. Hey, eat him in.
I'm landing.
Oh, now you land.
Whatever data I'm missing, educate me, brother. Edify me.
All right, so I looked into it. So first he admitted out his mouth he ain't looked into it because he said there's no data out there, right? He did admit to that. Then the second thing I did, I looked into it. I hear it on these panels all the time. They say, I understand these women. I was always around these women. And people don't understand when you're raised with a woman in the house, it helps you understand the emotions of women. When you actually when you remove a woman out of that house and you only have a masculine presence, that man do not understand the women. And then when he start looking at the data behind it, even Ali self-admitted that men are equipped to be in relationships today. And what we want to throw out all the time is that most of these men are raised by single mamas. Okay, so we all equipped and ready to go in a relationship. We had to learn that skill from somewhere else, right? Because if that's not the case, that means we can learn discipline from somewhere else. Like if we really start going down this rabbit hole, it's almost like they want to discredit women so much that they say they didn't teach us nothing. The men just figured it out. Matter of fact, I think the desire to get married comes from you being being raised by a woman. Even we said earlier, hey, you have this desire to do it. If your daddy was single, and your daddy was single, he ain't never got no woman, he ain't bring you around no women, you would desire as a man to live that single lifestyle too. You want to be like your daddy. So it's just funny that we just look at data on one side of it. If you really
great. So hold on. So I'm gonna say this then.
You said don't interrupt me, but I'm done.
I thought you were done.
You were done. Eat man, you literally was landing, Eat man. Really?
No, I was done.
Hold on, Fantastic.
Don't be so serious.
Yeah, he was a joke. I know he was done. He was done. Yeah. Eat man tried to be funny. He almost got one. So listen what I'm saying, man. Eat man, brother, you just told me fake data. There is no data to justify. Men know more about women if they have mothers. Please, brother, show me that statistic. That's not measurable. You can't have data on something that's not measurable. Men understanding women is not a measurable statistic. What are we talking about? So now you claim and told me I didn't know the data. I didn't know the information. When I turned around and gave you the data, right? When I turned around and gave you some data to support what I'm saying, to prove that I'm not just and then the data you tell me I don't know about is a made up, immeasurable stat. Please, brother, tell me how you measure how well a boy or a man understands women, brother. Tell us the study used to figure that out, brother, to quantify it. Tell us the study.
You want 6 to chime in, Eat a man, or you responding?
I'm saying everybody get in. Me and Fantastic
No, no,
do
no,
this all the
no,
time.
no, no, no.
I
Do you
can
want to
respond.
respond to what
No,
he
no,
said?
don't let nobody bail him out.
No,
Don't let
I
nobody
can
bail him out.
respond.
All right, go
Hold on,
ahead,
Listen,
respond.
Ali.
tell me how you
I'm
want me to do this, Ali. I'm here for you.
Cook him,
You
cook
want
him.
me
Eat
to
a man,
respond
eat a
to
man,
you?
eat a
Ali.
man.
I'm gonna just say
Allow
this.
me to interject.
Hold on, wait. Real quick, Six. Real quick. I'm gonna just
Either
Oh, hold on, CEO. Let
real
him
quick.
cook. No, he said he about to cook. Hold on, he want that energy. He said he about to cook. Fantastic. Let him cook.
All right. So one thing we understand that helps relationships be successful is emotional connection, right? This idea that this idea that you don't need an emotional connection, like any married man to tell you that he have to be able to understand his wife, right? If they don't tell you that, they telling you how to fail at marriage, right? Right. So what I'm telling you is when it says, so we look up the data, men that lacks the presence of a woman, they typically don't have the emotional connection is needed to sustain a long period of marriage. And then the crazy part about it is we'll act like, based on what he's saying, and there's data out there. He might not think it's real data, but it's data out there that says that these boys have a hard time actually connecting to women than others. But he's going to say that it wasn't good enough for him because that data is different. But go ahead.
Again, brother, I just asked for the source, brother, and you just doubled down with more gobbledygook, as they say.
I can give you sources. You want sources?
Well,
you don't never get sources. You know
either
this.
man, allow me to
Fantastic.
interject.
Always ask for sources.
Either man, allow me to interject.
Yes, Six.
No, let me address something before you interject, brother. Is that cool? Is that fine? Just real quick. So again, either man, what I know for a fact is there is no way to collect data on emotional attachment. So an opinion or something, or like a survey of what the answer somebody give you, I mean, I guess, but there is no human way possible to measure the things that you are using as data. That's just the facts about it. So that's why I'm saying what you're saying is made up, fam. There's no numbers behind feelings, fam. There's no numbers behind feelings. But I'm done.
Let me say something, because when I first joined the podcast and part of my opening thesis, I said that there is not a whole lot of data that shows the pernicious effect of not having a mother. And I stated, if we watch this live back, glad it's live and recorded, that is disingenuous. It's just as disingenuous as saying black on black crime and providing data when there is no data for white on white crime, when we all know crime is due to proximity. So there is not a whole lot of data you could find on white crime, but we know it exists because they want to push the narrative of black on black crime. So I'm using that as an example as a placeholder for those who can't keep up. Now, I started off by saying there is no data on that. It's done intentionally so that these type of debates, my fellow interlocutor, Mr. Fantastic, can have a foundation to stand on, because if the data exists, then we would have to admit that both man and woman, although their duties, functions, and responsibilities are different, they're both equally important. But if you talk about, all right, the father's not being there is detrimental. It is detrimental, but why aren't the fathers there? And by definition, any woman that is not married is single. And you have full-grown men in their 40s and 50s still making baby mamas. So when are you going to indict them men, right? Because in order to be a baby mama, the father ain't there. That means the marriage had to fail, or you made her a baby mama. And again, now if you're young, you can always hide behind the veil of, oh, I was young, I didn't get it. But when you are a certain age and you still creating broken homes, then we have to kind of say, all right, well, if one thing is true, what is the crux of that truth? And then we have to address the crux, because just simply knowing that, oh, you're going to go to jail if your daddy ain't there, ain't good enough to cease and desist with the destruction. We have to find out the crux. Why ain't the daddy ain't there? And if we pull off the veil of ignorance, the father ain't there a lot of times because they lack the emotional intelligence it takes to pair bond with a relationship and make her and keep her a happy wife. So they rather make baby mamas.
Okay, great. So first and foremost, I'm not saying that you were directing at me, but I am vehemently against men being irresponsible with their penis and making babies that they don't intend to take care of. I call them notorious nutters, right? I have no excuses or no type of anything for a man. And I was just condemning that yesterday. Any man that has a oops baby at 40 is a loser. And I hope you get all of the worst things in life. Okay. There's no excuses for that. All right. So to address that. Secondly, again, this idea that the data is purposely not collected for the sake of conversations, and so the other side can't be had when I gave the reason for it. There's literally impossible to measure feelings. That's not my opinion. That's not what I think. That's not what I feel. That is a fact. Okay. Feelings cannot be measured. So being that feelings cannot be measured, the data can never exist. That's why it's not for the sake of loading one side for the argument. Okay. It is because the data just simply can't exist because feelings can't be measured. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
You're right. But again, either you're confused or you're conflating. Feelings can't be, you can't measure that. You're right. I don't have a rebuttal for that, but you're conflating or missing the point. What you can measure is people who create broken homes. And then you go back and say, hey, was your mama there? Was your mama there? And then that's how you collect the data. And that's what I'm talking. That can be measured. And they failed to do that. So I just want to ground the conversation and kind of get you to see where I'm coming from, because we need both sides. And to not, what the question would be for anybody, and this ain't at you, Mr. Fantastic, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, just as a black man, I respect you. I really do. Like, it's hard not to. You got some charisma to you, and you got a powerful, strong voice. I just wanted to be correct because we're better together, not apart. We're better together, not apart. I'm not your enemy, and I don't participate in Shafrodia. Like, I don't have any joy in anybody's misery like that, but we have to get it right. So the question would be, why don't we have the data from the other side? Or why don't we want to introduce the data from why don't we want the data from the other side? And if you trace it back, it's because it was done intentionally and systematically to have a pernicious effect on our community. All I'm trying to desperately say is we need to come together, and probably it would be more sagacious if we avoid language that is divisive, whether it's a woman emasculating a man or a man belittling a woman. That's divisive. We cannot coalesce if we continue to do that. So I'm trying to offer some balance. I'm all for a formidable debate with because you are a formidable interlocutor, my man. I have no personal gripe against you. It's just when facts is facts. I don't like stupid shit, and I stand on business, and I can back up anything I say. And I like a person that can do that too, because iron sharpens iron. So we're on this. I believe you want to see us come together too. But where I stand is like a lot of things are misconstrued. And when somebody say, no, I swear it ain't, I go, okay, well, show me the proof that it worked in your own life. Because that's all we have to rely on at the point where I'm like, I think you're an ultra crepidarian. Somebody can say, well, I know I ain't. I can show you how it works. I believe this, and this is this is how my lifestyle is from my mindset. So if you say my mindset is like this, and I go, all right, well, show me your lifestyle, and your lifestyle don't match your mindset, either I shouldn't listen to your advice because you crazy, or you suffer from a mild case of cognitive dissonance. Because again, if you can poke holes at my story, I don't want to be right, Mr. Fantastic. I want to be correct. And a lot of people don't know the difference between right and correct. So I'll make it short and sweet. Once upon a time, slavery was right, but it was never correct. So when I enter any kind of discussion with a formidable interlocutor, I am going there. If you defeat me, I will properly and gleefully concede, because even when I lose, I win because you just made me correct. Now, when I go back out in the world, I can go be correct. I want to be correct. So when I challenge you and challenge you hard, it's not to indict you or like belittle you, really. It's to say, look, if I'm going to stand with you, because I stand with you any day, my brother, but if I'm going to stand with you, we have to be correct and monolithic in our messaging. And the only way we're going to be that, if I'm like, you give me something that can trump what I believe in and what I built, I will relinquish it and come be correct with you. Because only in correctness can we get this thing right. And that's all I want to say.
All right, great, brother. Pastor Opulent, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Great sermon. Now listen, same thing, man. Hey, bro, I have no real life smoke with you, dog. It's the art of the debate and whatever for me. Again, man, I just I'm a strong believer in reciprocity, brother. All right, as long as we keep it how it goes, I'm a great adapter to my environment. Okay. So again, I have no issues, problem, whatever. And again, you too, brother. Again, vocabulary words, I've learned a lot. My vocabulary definitely I have thanks to you, brother. I've looked up a lot of words that I thought I know the meaning to, and I didn't. So again, brother, you add something to it. But hey, you know how we do. We black. It goes, right? So again, this is why I think we miss, and this is why I don't believe at all things should be monolithic, because monolithic is very problematic. Okay. That's horrible. No, you need to have counter arguments to sharpen the iron, right? You have to have counter arguments, right? You temper steel by hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, right? You used a great analogy from that earlier, right? So the opposites is what actually makes the steel stronger. Now, moving forward, the data is there, okay? It's just not specifically saying, oh, the mothers, la, la, la. The data is there because we know the majority of households are single mother households. So if the majority of single mother households are there, right? And we know the fathers aren't there for the most part or whatever, right? That is the data. If the marriage situation that we have and women having this attitude of, oh, I don't need no man, I'm strong and independent, and all this rhetoric that we've heard for our lifetime, that didn't come from no dad. If she got a dad in the house, what one would that grew up with a father, a strong father, a provider, a protector, would ever come out here and say that? No, the women that raise those children on themselves are the one that caused that thing. And furthermore, the horrible men that those women picked. A mother's first job is to give her child a good father. That's a mother's first job. If she can't do that and she picks an irresponsible person, she picks a weak person, she picks a deplorable person to continue his lineage and his bloodline, she's already started out wrong. So now, if she started out wrong, knowing she has a horrible choice of people to pick from, what is she going to instill in that child, be it a son or a daughter? So no, you can't come around and say, oh, well, if the mother wasn't there, well, we know in majority of the cases, the mother's always there. There are various situations of, I think single fathers might have 9% of households. So you're either in a 2-parent household or a single mother household for like 90+% of the situation is what I'm saying. So when you counterbalance those two, right, and you have the data from the statistics that already exist, there lies your answer.
Well, let me say this real quick. Because you misconstrued, you missed the plot. Because we are more powerful when we're monolithic. And what I was trying to convey, what I did convey, you just didn't understand. When we do this, I'm doing it to make sure I'm in correctness. Because if your thought life, your school of thought is correct and mine is incorrect, I abort mine and stand with you on yours. Only when our messaging collectively is monolithic, we become powerful. My brother, the finger is not as strong as the fist. And we can't be together with two different messaging. So we go at it to make sure that the messaging is correct. And I'm saying, can't speak for you, but I'm saying if ever your messaging is correct and mine is incorrect, I'm aborting mine to stand with you. So when we get out here, individually in the world and collectively, the same thing they hear come out of your mouth, my mouth, Ali mouth, Fatty mouth, it's all the same. Now we become powerful. But when we divide the data and divide the plan and the goal, then it's easy for us to be conquered. So that's what I mean by being monolithic in our messaging. Once we get it right, we're all saying the same thing. So they go, oh, well, this must be it, because everybody's saying it. Like if every man stood up and be like, look, we're no longer dealing with women. They're going to be perfidious and disruptive. Then they'd be like, look, no man is dealing with that. We all have to change. So that's what I mean by monolithic. But in addition to what you just said with the data, that it is true. But here's where we differ. I don't want to sit on anyone's panel and commiserate. Because if we're not going to address the crux of the problem, what are we talking about? We're just commiserating. So if you go, all right, these people end up in jail because they don't have no fathers, then we got to say, okay, why aren't the fathers there? And we have to address that. So again, I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. I'm saying if we don't get to the crux of why, then what are we doing? We're just commiserating. And that doesn't help anyone. That doesn't benefit anyone. And if you take the $350,000 Rolls Royce and take that $200 spark plug out, it won't drive. is just as important.
Okay,
I,
so
I,
it's
I
my
got
turn.
you.
It's my
Oh.
turn.
Yeah, my bad, Ali.
And it's because you won't say a man is better than a woman. That's the problem. She thinks she's better than a man. So if the kid's sexualized, it's the woman's fault. If the kid's unstructured, it's the woman's fault. If the kid's disrespectful, it's the woman's fault. If the kid's volatile, it's the woman's fault. If the kid's superficial and vain, it's typically the woman's fault. If you give a woman a choice whether she'll be a wife or a 304 first, she's gonna pick a 304. If you're gonna ask a woman whether she'll have sex or become a wife first, she's gonna pick sex. If you ask a woman whether she'll cook for a man first or be a wife, she's gonna pick the she wouldn't cook. She'll still be a 304 instead of a wife. If you ask if she'll be a wife or obey, she's gonna disobey. She'll disobey. If you ask her whether she's gonna have a kid first or become a wife, she's gonna have a kid first. The only way a man is at fault, Six, is if he commits to this woman, whether he commits to her in a relationship or he marries her and she leaves and he leaves an uncooperative woman. But if she's not gonna marry before she carries, and she's not going to listen to the man she has a kid with, whether he wants to be a father or told her I didn't want to be a father, is typically the woman's fault because she thinks she's better than a man. And that's why she picks a single mother home. And that's why she picks herself. That's why she picks her freedom. That's why she picks her self-identity. I won't take away from you or either man and say that a woman is essential because all these women are raising these kids. Most of the time, the kid's raised with his mother. But if that mother picks herself and she thinks she's better than the man, it typically is where the dysfunction comes from. But if she values the man and she say, I believe in a God and I believe in the Holy Trinity and I believe in order, it's going to be God, woman, man, and child. The problem I have with what you're doing and what either man is doing is you conflating us saying that the man has a much higher role and he possibly is superior to the woman with saying she's not valuable at all when she's critical to the equation, and we need women to flourish as well too. The only thing we're saying is that these women are picking themselves and they think they're better than men instead of acknowledging that the man is better and she needs to listen to the man. And if you're able to refute it, my brother, I'll congratulate you and get my hats off, put my hat off to you as well too. But this is why we have this problem.
She is better at different things. My brother, if you judge a fish by his ability to climb a tree, you would think he was an imbecile. Let me go. My brother, if you judge I'm about to. I like to ground everything I say in intellect and fact. If you judge a fish by his ability to climb a tree, he is an imbecile. A fish has a different job than a bird or a seal. Women have a different job from us. That is not for us to minimize it. And then you say if she's uncooperative, yeah, I agree with you on that. But the crux, let's go to the crux. The real question we should ask is, why are you populating the womb of an uncooperative woman? Why did you choose her to be the sayer over your legacy? So the crux is the way you chose. Why would you choose a woman in that? Why would you choose a woman that way? Why would you choose a woman like that to populate her womb and be in charge of your legacy?
If you're having an intentional conversation, most of these women are extremely cooperative in the beginning. They bait and switch. I did data 2 weeks ago about how most relationships are ending because typically women are cooperating until they don't cooperate. That's how women are finessing men. The biggest finesse is the woman in the relationship because men will lie for sex. But it don't end up in a relationship. He just lies for sex. He lies for that moment if he's going to lie for sex. Women will lie in relationships. She'll lie for 4 years. She'll lie for 5 years. She'll lie for 10 years and change her mind. So the flex that she's doing and believing that she's better than the guy, my brother, she tells the biggest lie because if she was willing to cooperate when she got with the man, then all of a sudden doesn't cooperate. Not only does she destroy her life, she destroys the man's life and she destroys the kid's life because now they're in a broken home where they're typically trying to figure out whether I should follow my mama or I should follow my daddy. Because the first voice I heard before I even came into this world was my mama. She has a very important voice. And when she speaks, typically she sets the trend and the kids typically follow the mama way before they ever follow the father, my brother. That's why I'm saying. So if you have a great man in the house, and if you have a bad woman in the house, that kid is typically going to go on the coverage of that woman for a long time till that kid wakes up and go, you know what? It wasn't my daddy. It was my mama. She chose herself and she chose us over the father and she chose us over the mother. Because most men, I would hope and I believe that if he nuts inside of a woman and she has this baby, but she's willing to cooperate and do what this man wants, he will take care of that woman. The problem is she wants that man now to be on her page and follow her plan. And then when she tries to control how the kid is raised as well too, the man says, hell with that. You can have your mama, y'all can have each other. I'm gonna go start me a whole new family. And that's what men do by nature. It's nothing you can do about it. The woman try to hoard the kid, keep the kid. They won't give that man primary custody. He has to go fight for the kid instead of woman going, you know what? You do better. You take the kid because I can't do as good as you. But what they'll do is shame a man if he takes his child, if he goes to court and tries to fight this woman for his kids, even though women will lie perpetually on the internet and go, why you ain't fight for that kid? Why you ain't take that woman to court, when they would shame them for not allowing that kid to be with that woman, my brother. So until women cooperate with the men that they let inside of them, until women cooperate with the men they let bust inside of them, until women stay cooperative with the men that put a ring on their finger, the onus is on the woman because she makes the family and she makes the relationship and she asks for it. All of us can stay out in the wilderness and bust nuts all day long and do whatever we want. And there's a selective, a man can get most of the women as well too. She decides if we have a family. She decides if this is an actual relationship, my brother.
I concur with a large part of that, especially the way you ended that, my brother. The way you ended that, I had something to say, but you took the lid out the dynamite before I could say it. But I'm gonna ask you a question because I concur. Again, I don't argue logic, but I want to know: do you feel that there is a way that a young man, or any man, but young, I say young because you have to be experienced in life and you kind of develop that heuristically. But do you feel that it is possible for a young man or men to develop discernment powerful enough to, again, discern the negative or pernicious traits in a woman before she pulls the old switcheroo? Or is it your testimony that it's just impossible to ever know? Or do you feel that there are times, and it is possible, that men overlook these signs due to their lust and they become ensnared by this woman because she's beautiful and she's able to wheedle her way into his bed, that he just didn't think about those things and his improvidence led him to this situation? Like, is that a world where these two things can coexist? Because again, I don't have a rebuttal for most of what you said. I've been on the side of, I had this conversation yesterday. Well, I was telling somebody but I said, because I'm fully developed, I said I created a lose-lose situation. Had I took my daughters, I would have been a horrible, why you take from her? But I understand I created a lose-lose, even though I was young. I was a father before I was a man, my teens. But I was like, I understand now, and then through self-development, I was like, I created a broken home. So I understand my culpability in it, which is why I never duplicated that again, because I felt that pain of somebody else, another nigga waking up to my kids before I did, just because they can't be in the house with me. So I was like, I'm never gonna, this shit hurt me. I'm never doing this again. I gotta be married. I would never, this shit hurts. So, but again, my culpability was I created a broken home. So what I'm saying is there a case or a possibility that a man can develop that kind of discernment that can shield him from that at all? Or is it just a doomed scenario where, hey, you just either lucky or you ain't? And I'm just trying to see your point of view on that. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
The ability to gauge women today is borderline damn near impossible now. You can try to look at what she likes. You can try to look at what she listens to. You can try to see if she has a father or doesn't have a father. You can see if she respects men, if she values herself. You can try to see if she has a high body count based on how she answers questions that you may trick her on and tell her that you fine with women having sex. But sometimes she may not be honest about that either. But a lot of women ain't going to tell you their body count. You can look at the friends she has. You can see what she likes. You can see what she desires. But the problem is most women will never tell you their red flags. And if we actually stand on G code, nobody would wife a woman who's not virtuous. Nobody would not wife a woman who's not chaste. Nobody would wife another woman who didn't cooperate with the last man she was with. And the problem is their body count is so high. They've had so many experiences with men. I would think that the last man she got to, the man typically cooperates with her. So if we got to these women that actually were performative on being wives and being orderly and righteous woman, then I could put the onus on men, and he should be able to be pick right, and he can have discernment. But the problem is, brother, just like there's another brother in online or in the internet, what we're saying is that there's women standing too close to the hoes. They may not talk like them sometimes. They might not look like they think like them. They may look like they don't dress like them. But when it comes crunch time, they have the same mindset. They have the same things that they're interested in. And a lot of them come back to acting the same way when it becomes a time to show who she is as a woman. You know how you know? There's things that I know that's happened to men a lot of times where women will say, hey, baby, I'll never do to you what these women did to you. I'll never trap you. I'll never not submit to you. I'll never leave you. I'll always love you. And there's a mass amount of women who trap men, who lie to men, who take advantage of men, who play victim to men, who change the narrative on men, and they leave their men and they're not loyal to men. So I would be with you, and I would agree with you that there's an ability to have a discernment. But now that even shame culture is gone, you can't thought shame, you can't fat shame, you can't LGBT shame. All the society endlessly shames men to be what women want instead of shaming women into what men want. So right now, the state of society is prioritizing women over men. And then when a woman feels like it, she can change her mind at any time, and all the society will support her, my brother. That's the show. I was reviewing the show earlier. If we leave our household, we'll be shamed and we'll be told that we broke our home. If a woman leaves her man, she did it for self-love and happiness. And God told her to do it too. And the therapist told her to do it as well too. And her mama will support her. Her cousins will support her. A village will support her, knowing damn well she wrong. But because her mama was a baby mama, because her cousins were baby mamas, because they failed, because they didn't become get their degrees, because they didn't become successful, they're going to take her right back in as well too, because she's going to be a failure just like them. Instead of fathers who will say, you need to go back and get that man. You need to go back and get your woman. You need to keep your family together. And it's different between old school women, opulent, because the women back then were saying, you need to slow your fast ass down. You need to we grew up with that. Sit your behind down, and you need to go get married. Where today's women say, take care of yourself. So it's very hard to have discernment when you have a society of women and telling women to do what's in their best interest, and you're telling brothers to still take care of women. It's very difficult to have discernment in today's society.
I agree. And you know I agree with you because you follow my content. So you know I stand with you on a lot of your messaging because it's important and it's
accurate. Take a can and put your finger, take the can and pass it around. Right?
Yeah, it is accurate.
You take a sip. Now take a can and put a whole bunch of fingers in that can.
Right. So I stand, but what if we remove the onus totally from men, that turns us into exactly. Let me land. You're right. It turns us into perpetual victims. So what I'm trying to do while we here is go, what role did we play, and how can we? Because if we depend on them, like, hey, as long as y'all do everything right, everything will be all right. I mentor. I don't even teach my mentees to develop that mentality, because it's like if you put somebody else in the driver's seat of your life, then you're always at the mercy of other people to be right and act right in order for you to have a great life. But if you can find your culpability, see, when I go in any scenario, I don't give a fuck what y'all gonna do. Want to know why? Because I always know what I'm gonna do. I don't need to know what you're gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I know how to govern and manage myself. So I'm saying, hey men, hey fellas, a lot of shit what y'all saying is true. But maybe we need to figure out our culpability so we can manage ourselves and put our hands on the steering wheel instead of saying we just hapless and hopeless and we despondent and we just victims. We got to just know, because especially if you have multiple baby mamas, because if you have one baby mama that's guilty of the very thing that you just said, and your next two baby mamas have the exact same ilk, that is a you thing.
So hold on. I agree with you that everything is a man's fault.
I didn't say that.
No. Let me just land. If the lights ain't paid, it's your fault. If there's no food on the table, it's your fault. If the woman is struggling, it's your fault. If the kid's struggling, it's your fault. If your family is in dysfunction, it's your fault, as long as the woman cooperates, as long as she listens. That people keep saying this to be sometimes disingenuous, and I'm gonna break it today, right? A woman is the reflection of her man. I only agree with that. And she's a reflection of her leader if the woman cooperates. If she don't cooperate, She is not the reflection of that man and that leader and that righteous brother. So everything is a man's fault as long as that woman cooperates. And she's a reflection of that man as long as that woman cooperates. If she doesn't cooperate, ain't nothing is that man's fault at all.
Hey, but though, Ali, keep it real. You know that there's a lot of milquetoast brothers out there that easily get ensnared by a woman because of the way she looked, even though he knew that she had a bad attitude and that she was gonna have a pernicious effect, but he was so sexually undisciplined, he did it anyway. We have to address. We know there's milquetoast.
Two different arguments. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, Six.
We call those suckers and simps.
Hold on. We ain't gonna call them suckers and simps yet. Hey,
yeah, let's just call them milquetoast.
Hey, I know your body counts stupid. I know you was in the streets. I know you was doing your thing back then. If a woman in society, a man's expectation is for a man to be monogamous and take care of his woman after he had that type of life, I don't want to hear that he vetted wrong. I don't want to hear he ain't see the red flags. I don't want to hear that you can't change a woman when women expect men to change every single day. Every single day. This dude, especially the best man who had all these women, he's supposed to instantly change once he gets with this woman. We don't go, oh, you should have saw the red flags. You should have vetted better. You should have never dealt with that man. So if two imperfect people come together and they choose to engage in a relationship or a marriage, they need to respect that. If two perfect people do that, they need to respect that. The person who becomes imperfect, the person who makes the mistake, the person who's not following or leading, they're the blame. So if hoes want to be, if we can say hoes can be turned into housewives, men who are supposedly hoes can be turned into husbands as well too. So both those people come to an agreement. The person who falters is the person that's wrong. And I'll say this, Six, if you were a perfect righteous brother that was doing all the right things and you met a 304 that was a jump off that was twerking on a stripper pole, but she came into the relationship, a divine woman, a great woman, she did everything you said, you're wrong for doing wrong by that woman who used to be wrong, who changed her life. So it's the person who actually wrongs in the relationship and the commitment that's wrong. Not the imperfect person or the perfect person. It's the person who broke the commitment and who broke the relationship that's wrong, my brother.
You absolutely right. But and I don't have a rebuttal, so I ain't gonna say, but here's the thing. What is the nexus between women who don't cooperate and men having children with them? Because again, I'm here to be like, yo, let's get to the crux of it so we can fix it at the center of it. If your alternator is jacked up, why are we putting air in your tire and be like, hey, the car's still messed up? Let's fix the alternator. So I'm trying to find out what's the alternator. What is the nexus between women who don't cooperate? Or unless you're just saying, hey, man, look, women in these days are ambivalent, they're impetuous, and they just vacillate. So it's just a gamble. If that's what you're saying, I can't hear you.
The market used to be find a virgin. And she probably demonstrated cooperation because she was able to stay chaste. She worked on making sure she respected herself, which means she can respect the man. Now men find their wives having sex. The men who having an abundant sex, the men who get access to women, those the men that's getting married. The other men they call incels. The other men they call suckers. The other men they call panders and sips. They don't want to be with those guys. They're after the men who get the most sex. So you find your wife having sex. You have your wife when you having access to women. The men who can't get access to women, they don't get wives. So because the market is this way, men have to mold and teach women how to be wives. Convince them to be wise if they can. But the woman, if she doesn't want to cooperate, if the woman, she doesn't want to follow your lead, if she doesn't want to be a divine woman, there's nothing you can do about it. So they
see, that's why we differ. You don't, and I can say this because I'm a married man. If you got to convince somebody to be a wife or a husband, they ain't the one for you. Because just because you put a ring on it don't mean you can stay in the garage all day, won't make you a car. You put a ring on a hoe and a wig on a pig and a coat on a goat, but it won't change the taste of the meat. So she got to come to you. Men marry behavior, already being a wife. Men marry behavior, not looks. Because when the novelty of a woman's looks wear off, all you have is her intangibles. Right. So I'm just saying men should be rooted in discipline and their discernment to help navigate and mitigate a lot of these issues. And again, I'm only putting the onus back on us because if I don't, that just turns us into perpetual victims. Like, yo, there's nothing we can do about it. And that is a very despondent message. And everything you said is true and accurate, but I don't want to be the bearer and pervade despondent messages.
You already said it though. You can't teach her how to be a wife. She has to want to be a wife. That's not my responsibility.
Pass her up,
listen,
brother.
I'm not gonna. No one said that either. No one's saying that. But in today's market, most women, Six, you think most women marriageable, or you think most women unmarriageable today, brother?
I think from what I've seen and what I know, and I don't know if you know what else I do, I'm with women 99% of the time. It's saddening to me. I'll just say that I'm depressed because I'm happy. I'm glad I don't have to be out there, because even me being who I am, I'm like, every day I do what I do, I realize even me being who I am, this shit would still be tough. Because
this is the last thing I'm gonna say, because I want to make sure everybody else get in. Okay. That's what no, that's not what she said. She shouldn't say that. The woman who wants to be a wife, my brother, she's gonna be a wife. You're not going to get access to her unless you want to be committed to her, unless you want to be a husband. Until women want to choose to be wives again, they control the market. Most of the women who are leading majority of the market. And you say most women are unmarriageable. Most of the wives already married, Six. They already taken because they wanted to be a wife. Ain't nothing sitting on the shelf that didn't want to be bought. Ain't no oat milk want to be bought. Eggs want to be bought. It wants to be bought. He wants to be off the shelf. Wives, they already married. I'm
gonna borrow that analogy. That's just, I concur. I can see. Go ahead.
Who y'all come on in now? Jump on in. We just had to have that little dialogue. That's my brother Six. I love my brother Six.
Love you too, bro.
What's up, guys?
Peace, King.
You got that delay again, Boogie.
No, I think I'm good.
Nah, I don't think you good.
I'm good. I can hear you right.
You know what? I got you. We gonna set you right. We gonna set you just right. That's what we gonna do. We gonna set you right, my brother. You got the flow, my brother.
No, you want to eat something?
All right.
You want to snack?
Check the message, Ali.
Okay, you want me to check the message? Oh, not for me.
Not for you?
No.
Okay.
There's some things, for some reason, it's not affecting me like everybody else. I don't know why.
All right, I was just gonna say that Mr. Six was lying when he said that men shouldn't have a higher level when it comes to the man and woman or mother and father, because we have the statistics to show when the mother raises the kids and the statistics when the father raises the kids. So clearly the father is a better parent than the mother, and we have decades of statistics to show what is happening when mothers decide to be the mother and the father when it comes to raising kids. So I just wanted to say that Mr. Six should know better with the statistics that fathers are better parents at raising kids overall. So that means the father or the man should be on a higher level than the woman in a relationship. We're not saying women are not important. We are saying men are more important because the part they play in a kid's life when the kid is growing up, it really determines if the kid is going to be something to society, if the kid is going to go to jail, if the kid is also going to create more single moms. So the father is definitely more important than the mom when it comes to raising a kid overall, not just the first 10 years of the kid. The first 10 years, I could give it to the mom. After that, if there's no father, it's all gone.
So anybody has a rebuttal before Six? Hold on, Six. Hold on. Does anybody got a rebuttal that the fathers make the better parents and raise the better kids? Does anybody got any rebuttal other than Six?
Unmute yourself, Six.
All right, go ahead. Dang, Six, you gonna be out here by yourself like, whoo, go ahead, Six. Because he said the women are still valuable. You on mute. You gotta take yourself off mute, Six. Hold on. I think you're good now.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people like to change the goalposts because it's easy to change the narrative. I'm the first one that when I came on this panel was already running. I said that men are responsible for the discipline, which is what leads to these stripper poles in jail. So you're trying to discredit it and hit me with a litany of non sequiturs. But let's go ahead and ground this conversation in fact. Women, I keep saying and reiterating, I don't understand if you guys lack the rudimentary comprehension skills it takes to keep up with this conversation, or if you're just playing foolish. Women have a different duty, function, and responsibility, and to discredit it because you think it's nugatory, it's asinine. Because again, a lot of
nobody discredits.
Well, so you just when you say, wait, well, let me tell you, when you use language like it's not as important, ours is more important, that is a discredit. Language, words matter. and they
It's
have a
not.
pernicious effect. And I keep reiterating, I'm consistent in my messaging no matter who says it. That has a pernicious effect. Women have a different duty, function, and responsibility. Again, when I entered this conversation, I'm the one that brought up that men duty, one of their main functions is to institute discipline. And it's the lack of that discipline that will send them to the stripper pole or the jailhouse. That's just using y'all language.
And
But
that's more important. That's what we're
Hold on real
saying.
quick.
That's what
Hey,
I'm
hold on.
saying.
A6. Who's stronger, you or your woman? And if no, not that yet. If there was a fight, who would be more valuable in the fight, you or your woman?
physically me.
If there was a race, who would be more valuable in the race, you and your woman?
Physically me.
Yeah,
But again, your point is cavil. Ali, you know better than that. Again, if you judge, wait, let me land. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, the fish is an imbecile. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And I want to let you land. If you had a room full of kids you were gonna raise, it's all your kids, 10 kids. You and your woman split them up. You raising 5 of them, and she's raising 5 of them. Honest to heart, God to God truth, who's gonna raise the kids better, you or your woman?
I'm gonna believe I'm gonna raise them better. But just because the way I view myself in total, shit, my phone died.
Well, he said his phone died. Well,
Yeah,
Yes, on that.
He would
he's
have
saying
to,
the same thing, but
would have to say the same. He would have to say
dancing around it.
Nobody takes away the value of women are extremely valuable in relationships. Women are extremely valuable to children, but we know that when the men are not available, when the men are not there, it drastically impacts that kid's life. It's not even debatable what it does to a kid. My brother, Big Aaron, you haven't spoke yet, my brother. What's your take on the subject, my brother?
Yeah, I mean,
my other phone died. I had to hop on another phone real quick.
Oh, that man's other phone died. That's great.
I had to hop. I keep a few phones on me because I got a few businesses. But
I thought you stopped hustling.
Not well, it's a different hustle. It's a corporate hustle. Let me tell you something. Business is war without bullets. It's the same intensity if you want to be successful. But anyway, I digress. I have a different set of intangibles. When you said the fight thing, short story, there was a situation that I got into many, many moons ago, because I don't even carry that kind of aggression anymore. But I got into a situation, and my wife was there. And she intervened from my peripheral on this guy. And in my head, I was like, what the fuck is she doing? I'm getting ready to knock this person out. Because I see her come be physical with him while I'm already up on him. And she's like, no, hell no, fuck that. And I was like, what the fuck is, because what do you don't ever overjump me. And this is before she was my wife. This is how she became my wife. Do you know that motherfucker pulled out his gun and I didn't see it because I was so enraged?
The cuss
A
word.
woman, wait, let me tell you something. The detail,
it messes up the algorithm on the live. It'll turn.
Oh, my bad. This dude pulled out a weapon that I didn't see due to my rage. And I was about to do something to him. I probably would have lost my life because I surely was about to do something to him. I just need to get close enough to see where I was going to do it at and how quick I was. I just wanted to measure him up before I did it. So I distracted him with my words. But I hadn't even seen that this man pulled out a firearm and my wife had grabbed his arm. And that's what caught my eye on her peripheral. Like, why don't interject when I'm about to do my big one? But when I seen that, I was like, oh, SHIT. So I had to digress because I didn't have a firearm on me. And I know he didn't really want to do it because, again, I was a different person. I was going to put him in a bad place. But the fact that she was able to see that, intervene, and put her life at risk attests to the power, divine feminine power, when a woman is in her divine femininity. It exists. It is real. It is an actual asset to a man. And I personally don't recommend anyone who wants to have a happy, healthy, fruitful marriage where he's the patriarch, right? I want you to be important to a slew of people, not just your friends, but your family, right? When you're sitting on the throne. And the king with no castle ain't a king at all. You're just a joker in these streets. So if you want a happy, healthy, fruitful marriage, it is not conducive to go into this marriage with this type of language, because again, it has a pernicious effect. No one wants to hear my job is more important.
No one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear it. It's just different. Both of them is important. It's just different. Both of them is important. It's just different.
So why does
It's
she
just
get to
different.
say? So why do a lot of women keep saying that being a mother is the hardest job? Then
They're guilty of doing the same. I don't like when they say it either.
they say it, right? They say it.
Right, and I go in on them too. I ain't gonna lie. I would cite some of the same statistics Mr. Fantastic cited when they pull that, because I don't want either side to think that's, imagine your left hand thinking the right hand is more important, or your leg being like my arm
But I
is more
don't-
important.
hold on. Let's say that they say it. They say that being the woman is the hardest job. If you take those same kids, your kids, put them with Six, put them with Big Aaron, put them with Fantastic, who's gonna get the better result? Who's gonna hush without you even having to say nothing, anything? Who's gonna get the kids to clean up their room? Who's gonna get kids to do their homework? Who's gonna get kids on demand? Mac, you ain't even got, not just looking. Like my father, if he had to raise his voice, man, it was game time. Like he never, like I could hear my father's whisper when he said our names, like we heard him. Like if he raised his voice, it was over. If we had to do our homework, if we had to make our bed, if we had to clean, everything he said, it had to be on demand. Where if my father wasn't there, and I love my mama to death, greatest mother ever walking on earth, I could put her against any mama. We would give her a hard time sometimes because that was my mama. She loving, she nurturing, she wants y'all to do some of the things you want to do, but we'd give her hard times. My father is a whole different story. So all I'm saying, even when it comes to parenting, the man will still get different results. The man is asking the woman, like the Bible says, y'all, everybody like using the Bible, to help the man. So when he's not there, you get to go. This is what she does. The impact of saying, I'm about to call your daddy is more powerful than the mother having the discipline. If it don't make me call your father, do I have to
Because
call
the mother doesn't know how to discipline in a way that isn't pernicious, and the father does because it's inherent. No one even really has to teach you that. It's kind of inherent, it's intrinsic. And the same thing that a woman brings to the table, that nurturing is intrinsic. I don't know how long I've been on this live, but I have a 4-year-old. She just turned 4 2 months ago. Y'all ain't heard her act crazy. Matter of fact, when my other phone died, she came down and said, Dad, are you finished? I said, almost, because I am the disciplinary and I've taught her respect, but my wife taught me finesse. My wife taught me that softness so that I don't ruin her and make her think that a man's supposed to be hard on her or hard with her just to get her to capitulate. So my wife, being a woman, still is helping me. What happened? My wife.
No, somebody made a joke. Somebody
Oh.
made against me and Lucky, not you. But
No, it's all good, Joe. I laugh, even if it was me. Jokes is jokes, but I agree with a lot of what everybody said. Mr. Fantastic, go ahead. His hand been up for a long time. Go ahead, bro.
That right there. Oh, a fantastic goal. I'm gonna say one more thing though. Even the men love their kids more. Fathers, when I see fathers with their children and playing with their kids and the way they with their kids, the man even love these kids more than today's women love their kids. Love them enough to make sure they do the right thing. Love them enough to correct them. Love them enough to put them in the right place. These fathers love spending time with their kids. All over the internet, women cussing out their kids, saying they stressed out by their kids. They overwhelmed with their kids. They exhausted with their kids. They need break from their kids. Fathers love being around their kids too. So in any way you go, I'm still seeing fathers just asking for assistance and to be respected and valued, where the sisters don't want to still give. Most sisters, not the good sisters, give the man the credit and give the respect and value. But I'm going to give it back to Fantastic. But even then, I see fathers even being more, men are even the romancers. Go ahead, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, man. Listen, brother, shout out to you for being a father, man, being a great father. And I think what we do in these situations, even married or not, I think we as men are extremely benevolent and we want to give women more credit than they maybe do, right? I don't think, especially saying you was a father before you got married, right, that your wife had to teach you the more
Finesse.
softer side of it. Yeah, the finesse, as you say, right? I was not taught by my children's mother or my ex-wife how to be, have daddy time. I've hugged my kids, I kiss my kids, all those things. Like Ali saying, I agree that we have that side to us. It's just that it's not as much as the woman, would have. That's her role. So I believe that for sure with the dad, there's a balance of discipline and love, but more so on the discipline. The dearth comes though, if you have a dad and it's just him, he can be loving and he can be the disciplinarian, right? A woman has an issue with that because that's beyond her nature when it comes to the disciplinarian, and she does not pose the physical threat, right? And the child knows that, right? So what this is why, and I'm with you, right? The more important, I'll give you that. I'll concede. How about more impactful? How about that? Because you're right. The woman is essential, the man is essential. All right.
No, actually, what you just said made me about to say that you was right. I think you're right. The way you just articulated, no, because he conceded in my mind before you conceded. I was gonna say you right. You're right. I understand what y'all trying to say.
Right, but
it's like saying a car can go with flat tires, but it can't go without gas. Men are like gas.
Six, can you hear me? Six, we hogging the ball. We got to pass the ball.
Go ahead.
Women haven't even spoke yet, and other brothers got to speak, my brother. We got we got to pass the ball just a little bit. Hey, Lucky and Chris, y'all got anything to say? And then we're gonna come right back around to Big Aaron Rodney, all the way back to my brother Russian Boogie. We gotta stall him out.
You know what? Honestly, this panel has been refreshing. I've heard a lot of really good things from everyone who's spoken so far. I don't actually have anything to say in regard to it, Ali, because I'm out my cave. So speaking in the general sense. I don't actually have anything to say. Not at the moment, unless you ask me a question that I can answer for you.
How about you, DoorDash? She's telling you whatever you eat, and you
definitely Uber Eats. DoorDash has certain taxes that Trump didn't take care of yet.
What you eating? Beef ribs?
No.
Oh, what you eating?
I don't think I'm bougie.
Sushi.
I ordered Fleming's.
Steak.
So good. I really wanted it. Yeah.
How about you?
I don't have anything. I just enjoy listening to men. You said what?
I said y'all order Fleming's to go. Go. I hear you.
Yeah, because it can't sit in there. But Boogie, he had smoke for me earlier. He said I was doing something.
I did.
Oh, don't be cute. What's up with the smoke?
Because I heard you lying to Ali that average women.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, touch. That's why she's smiling. She got somebody got. Hey, Boogie, your picture look like your internet's supposed to be better than that.
Yeah, because I think Lucky just messed it up, but yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, say it one more time, brother.
Thanks.
I heard Lucky lie to you earlier, talking about that average women want average men when we know it's a lie. They want average men when they cannot get above average men. When they can't access the guys they want after a couple of kids, after 3 kids by 5 different men, and people always laugh when I say that 3 kids by 5 different men, Boogie, your math is off. And I tell them my math is not off. Sometimes they don't know who the baby daddy is because they fuck 3 guys in the same day, so they can't really tell. But eventually, when they can't get the above average guy, that's when they come back to the average guy. Because I mean, what are they going to do? They need a stepfather, and usually the average guys are the nice guys. Oh shit! That's it, Lucky. That's all I had to say. That's the smoke I had for you.
Oh, okay. So it was just off the fact that most men are not the woman's first choice.
Average guy, if you want to call it first choice, sure, but they don't want the average guy.
So how are we measuring that she doesn't want the average guy? Is it because she's passing them up and not sleeping with them, or what are we saying? Because you're not her first choice. Because I'm sure most women are not the man's first choice. So how are we determining whether she wants to or not if she's actually giving you access?
Yeah, but as men, we agree that I may settle with a 6, but I want a 10. You know what I mean?
So
as men, we agree it's a fact of life. But women claim everybody settles at some point. But we agree that we settle. Women claim they don't settle until eventually they do settle when they can't get what they want. That's the difference. As a man, if you told me, do I want Rihanna or Beyonce right now? I would say probably. But am I going to get her? I'm probably going to settle for.
Right.
But women are more delusional. Is the point.
Are you delayed?
Yeah, he's a little delayed.
Okay, because I can't argue like I can with you in Fantastic on time. You got to catch. So look, what I'm trying to say is I don't disagree about the first choice, But if we're saying women don't want average men when most of our experiences with average men, that's not true. Now we can say, what do we prefer? Do we look higher? Or just like you said, I may want a woman that's a 10, but I'll settle for a 6. I'm gonna tell you you're delusional to think you can get a 10, because what in your life told you can get a 10 in the first place? If nothing told you qualify for that, then you coming back down to reality is not settling. That's just you being in reality. That's not settling. Settling means that everything in your lane doesn't want you. So you're knocking down things that are non-negotiables to just say, I'll just accept the bitch that just do this. That's settling. But to come to reality, that's why I'm trying to change the word. It's not settling. That's you living in reality. You were once delusional. Now you were lost. Now you're found. That's all I'm saying. So it's not that women don't like average men, because I'm sure most everybody on these panels are average. And you guys speak like a woman is a privilege for her, for y'all to be loyal to just her. So that means y'all have a plethora of other average women. So that just kills your point to say we don't want average men when they're getting pregnant by average men. There's a show about women dating niggas in jail who's below average. So women are taking whatever they can to validate themselves. Now, if you say in a world like y'all bring up Kevin Samuels, would you want to, if you give me a level of preference and I'm going to say an idealistic thing that I would prefer. But in reality, it's based on where I'm at. So that's not settling. So I'm going to think.
You agree with him, though. And I will go to Big Aaron. You actually agree.
No, he agrees with me.
I don't know. Hey, Chris, let me ask you a question. And I'm going right. I just want you to eat straight question.
Okay.
If a woman had two choices, the man who she sleep with first, there's this man that she's crazy about, and he'll sleep with her, but he won't marry her, versus a guy that will marry her, but he's average. Who will that woman in her lifetime sleep with first?
One more time, because you broke up on my end.
The first guy she's crazy about, he'll sleep with her, but he's not going to marry her.
I see.
The second guy will marry her, but he's average. Who will the women in her lifetime have sex with first?
And we're speaking in general, so
yes,
I'm out of the cave. I'm out of the cave.
Who in her lifetime will she sleep with first?
In her lifetime, from experience, not my personal, but from what I've seen, they would probably go with the one that they have the fever for versus the one that would marry.
Yes. Go ahead, my brother, Big Aaron. Would anybody disagree with that? Just a disagreement or not? Do you feel like does anybody disagree with that? Who should have sex with first? Anybody disagree with that?
Well, who was said to be the first person?
Oh, the man who she crazy about that's never gonna marry her.
And that's who she shouldn't have sex with first, or should?
No. So what we saying, Mr. Fantastic, who would a woman have sex with first in her lifetime? The guy she's crazy about is telling her, I'll never be with you.
The guy she's most attracted to, clearly.
Or the average guy who said, I will marry you. And I'll do anything for you. She gonna have sex with them.
No, she has to experience the guy she wants first. So a woman's always going to deal with the guy she wants first. And then after she's done with that and she see that it's not fruitful or it's not beneficial overall, then eventually she will change to the guy that's willing to wait and, be second, third, 10th, umpteenth place on her sexual totem pole.
Right. Go ahead, my brother, Big Aaron.
Yeah, and that's why I think the word settle is the appropriate vernacular in this case. Settling simply means accepting something that is available but isn't what you initially wanted. I think the word that we want to use when we're talking about having to go down from where we qualify is compromise. When we make compromises, we're now stripping things away from what we already qualify for. But to move from where you want to where you qualify for is simply settling. It's settling. The word settled, to rest, to stop, to accept pretty much what is available, despite the fact it's not what you want.
I don't even think women really settle like that.
Go ahead, expound, my brother Boogie.
I don't think women settle because even when a woman is in a relationship, she has tons of messages, tons of men hitting on her, right? So I think women, when they get in a relationship, let's say for some reason they can't get the men they want, because I can guarantee you, if a woman settles for me right now because she failed to get the Tom Brady's of this world, and tomorrow Tom Brady wants her, but I married her today, I can guarantee you she's going to divorce me. So it's not like they really settle. They just get tired of looking and trying and trying. because at that time you're doing exactly what you can do half, maybe 60% of what she wants. But I can guarantee you, if the man she really wanted comes around tomorrow, she's gonna leave you. So it's not like they're settling; they're just taking a little break. But if what they want really comes around, they're gonna go.
Dang, boy, that boy cooking. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Six.
No, I agree with the young woman, because if you don't qualify, that's like saying, yeah, I'm settling for a Honda. I'm not getting a Rolls. You didn't qualify for a Rolls Royce. Well, you can't say you settled for a Honda. You didn't qualify. You don't have the money or finances for a Rolls Royce. So you can only settle if you actually, like she said, I concur with what she said. What he's saying is kind of circuitous, and he's saying the same thing over and over again, but it doesn't change the definition and doesn't make it right. You have to qualify.
Now, old boy got the point, man. Yo, if a dude's dealing with a broad and the broad still got like a list of dudes that's trying to holler at her, and she looks and she finds that other dude attractive, she gonna drop that sucker and go holler at him. Attractive too. I mean,
did that happen to you?
Oh my God.
Y'all just be throwing out shit, no, because she gonna do this. Is that fear mongering? Has it happened to you?
Free. I ain't never gonna happen to me, man.
Okay, so you advocating for what man? You ever got left for another nigga? Is that what you telling us?
I'm simply saying that Boogie got a point. He know what time it is.
But yeah, you gave a scenario. You said if I do this will happen. So is that from experience, or are you
like if he's
preaching what
dealing with
women
a chick
do?
that's settling, right? And she still got a
Yeah, that's
for
the
like
scenario. I'm asking you, has that happened to you?
She gonna drop Boogie to go holler at Tom Brady.
Hold on. Book. Hey, Rush. Can you ask? She asked you a question. Can you answer a question?
Thank you, Ali.
Has that ever happened to you, Rush?
Nah, I'm sucker free, man. Staying sucker free is my campaign, you heard?
So Ali, I just want to say sometimes what happens is the same way when women come in and say, yeah, if you do that to that man, he'll still leave you. So what's the point? You know, women say, what's the point of losing weight if a man gonna cheat anyway? That's what that sounds like. If a man gives a solution, we have another man saying, no, because if you do that, this will happen. Stay sucker free. And then you just said broad. So we kind of just see what your viewpoint is of women in general. So we're not talking about broad. We're talking about
disagree.
that. So
do you?
It's like if you've never experienced that, where are you getting that from?
No, but he don't have to experience it. I ain't got to be an astronaut to experience the stars or see the stars.
But I don't throw out scenarios that I've never heard of, experience, or nothing. I don't just throw out stuff just to have an opposed view from a solution.
Do you talk about what a pretty girl's perspective versus ugly girl's perspective? Do you know the difference?
Maybe.
Yeah, man. See, that's what
What's the ugly? Wait, what's the ugly girl? Well, let me help. What's the ugly girl?
Do you know about it? Do you know about it?
Over? I've been rejected, looked over. Yeah.
Now you being sarcastic. All I'm saying is
that
what I'm saying is that women who have pretty privilege know when a woman doesn't have pretty privilege, and they'll call her a different type of privilege that she had. Oh, she ain't got no privilege. But if a pretty woman just broke down on the street, it's about 10, 20 cars breaking down, stopping to try to help this woman fix a tire. If there's an unattractive woman on the street, typically, and I've seen it plenty of times, zoom. Hey, brothers, am I wrong?
No, they're pretty privilege exists, but I still stand with her because it worked both ways. If a woman is shooting for a certain type of man that's, impecunious and, participate in profligate behavior, but she can't get him, and she ends up with a guy that's working a 9 to 5, I don't know, at In and Out, she didn't settle either. That you didn't settle. You didn't qualify. She didn't settle either.
No. She said he can't speak. He's speaking on something that may be his experience, or he can't speak on something that isn't his experience. Everybody can see who the man is, and even though you don't have that man's experience, you're watching his experience. You don't have the totality of the experience of the man that's him, but you see how him is treated.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You don't have to experience something firsthand to have some type of knowledge. But I think what she was trying to say is what is your rebuttal centered around? Because
I'll rebuttal this way. If all the men on the panel don't get a 10, they're gonna treat their 5 like a 10. They're not even thinking about the 10 no more. If your expectation and standard was Rihanna, and you really try to get a Rihanna, let me finish. And you get I'm just being funny now, so don't quote me. A Whoopi Goldberg, you gonna treat that Whoopi Goldberg. A man's gonna treat his Whoopi. Hold on now.
Man.
Hold on, man. Hold on now. A man's gonna treat his Whoopi like a Rihanna. If a woman's expectation and standard was Leonardo DiCaprio, she gonna give hell to what's my man that got the what's my man name?
Forrest Whitaker.
Thank you. That's crazy that you knew that too. That's messed up. She gonna give Forrest Whitaker hell. She settled. She gonna disrespect Forrest Whitaker. She ain't gonna be giving Forrest Whitaker sex. She not cooperating. She giving him a hard time. But if Leonardo DiCaprio is looking her way, she gonna cooperate with that man and listen to that man. Initially,
let me say something. In man or woman, and I can't force you to understand this. You just have to know to know.
And I say, Whoopi,
the relationship is different when you're a woman's first choice. The relationship is different. The texture when you're a man's first choice. If you're not a man's first choice and you settle, you're going to get a different version of him than the version if he got the woman that he actually wanted. And it goes both ways. And again, if you don't understand, and I say a lot about you, but when you're a woman's first choice, the texture of the relationship is different, and some men can't even fathom that because they don't know how it feels to have a woman be in the club and you call like, "Hey, come right now," and they come running. They don't know what it feels like. So they can't even fathom that, and I can't help you fathom that. But I'm just telling you, when you someone's man or woman first choice, the texture of the relationship there's a stark difference than when she or he feels like they settled. And women deal with that too, from men that they may have pursued, and he was let me give her a chance, but it ain't gonna be like the woman that didn't have to pursue him. You're gonna be begging for things that she never had to ask for, and vice versa. So I just want to go on record saying that being a man's or a woman's first choice changes the texture of the relationship.
Yes,
from the conception of it.
Yes, but Lucky, when we made the main point of contention, and Lucky moved the goalpost, is that women prefer above average men over average men. And what Boogie was saying, that when they can't get the above average men, they'll deal with the average guy. And I'm not saying they won't be women like the average guy, but they settling for this average guy because they want the above average guy. And hold on, and Fantastic, I don't know why he ain't put t-shirts out yet. He deemed them 49ers. There's women who are fours who think they're nines. They get even worse. There was a show 4 years ago on, I think 2-3 years ago, we were telling men to date more unattractive women to get more cooperation with women. So now we telling men to just be with twos because the 3 isn't cooperating now. The 4 ain't cooperating. Now we're supposed to go all the way down to a 1 and 2 to get cooperation. But what happens when the ones think they 10s too?
Yeah, you ain't getting it from them either.
It's crazy, man. Where we at? The market is set for men based on what women are doing, and we still telling men, "Hey, work hard, and if you got to date down, just date down to get cooperation." So, in order to get cooperation, a man got to deal with an unattractive.
Ali, you are hilarious.
For real, it's the truth. Hey, Mr. Fantastic, am I capping?
Okay, so y'all don't think the one thinks she a 10 because of y'all?
You said who?
Huh?
No, don't do that.
Hold on, I don't want no.
I hate when Lucky.
Okay, I don't.
She
want
thinks
no
she's a 10 because women tell her that she's a 10.
Hey, Rodney.
No, that's not true, Rodney.
No.
Wait, I
Yes,
just
it
made a
is. I
question.
see it all the time.
What was the question?
Over here with me,
All
Rodney.
on TikTok, Facebook. These girls are these god awful beast
Y'all
women.
do not think this.
They be like, "Girl, you look better than what you think you do. You're better than that. You a 10." Come on, even on the Pop of the Balloon shows, they got girls on there saying that they 10.
We do lie
if
to.
If an ugly dude gets sex from an attractive woman, he know he's still ugly, but he lucked up with getting an attractive woman, right? That dude knows
he got money.
But if an ugly girl,
hold on, Lucky, hold on.
Fantastic Six, Boogie, Rush, if she sleep with all of them, she swears she can get men just like the attractive woman that y'all slept with. So it's not a conflation. We think differently.
No,
okay, y'all got it. I'm wrong.
A6.
Got it. And I'm a woman telling you that, and you're telling me I'm wrong.
That's okay, and I'm because women be capping, so that's okay. I still love you.
Okay, so then who do you listen to? Just men, other men that have issues with women.
Wait, I'm trying to understand what was the question?
So let me land. Hey, Lucky, in 2026, a smart man watches what a woman does. He does not listen to a woman, Lucky. Honestly, we watch what you do.
2026, then we should understand women
Unless
do not change, just the times. So they do not change, just the times and the circumstances. So if we understand
They don't
women,
change?
you're trying. See, this is the difference. Y'all can't acknowledge what I'm saying because I'm a woman. So we just know that's a woman. But most of y'all subscribe to me, so I don't know why. But
What's the question?
Wait, but the thing is saying that
I'm about to
that
tell
an
you.
ugly woman is proven that, oh, it's just a woman because we hype her up. Yes, we do. But the level of sexual access she can get from men is what validates us. So what I'm telling you, it don't matter how much we hype her up. If no man takes her to beyond anything, that confidence is gonna go down. It's just like telling your kid his whole life, you're pretty, you're pretty. Then when they get in the world and everybody else telling them they're ugly, it doesn't matter that they only have a face a mother can love, because it's based on the validation they're not getting. So there is the woman that's the sneaky link, the back door. It don't matter if she still, when they argue with other women, guess what they say? I can still take your man. It's not about whether or not he can marry her. It's the access he would give her. So also to Rodney's point, that's true, but that goes hand in hand. If Ali sleeps with a duck, she's going to think she's just as fine as the attractive woman that you slept with, because to her, we got him in the same types of ways. Y'all saying no because I guess y'all got it.
No. I agree. I agree.
Hold on. And Big Aaron ain't spoke. Hold on. Let Big Aaron. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. Yo, I just thought about something that'd be a genius idea to stream y'all need to do. If I could click a button where the light flashes on who could go next, wouldn't that be real, y'all? Like where you can click a button and the person who, yo, wouldn't that be fire, yo? Yeah. That's like, I told y'all I was a genius. You know what I'm saying? But that'd be cool with it. Like the person who. Like
stop talking. Put pen to paper. Get the patent. Get your paycheck. Stop talking. We know what you're talking about. Just get it cracking before somebody else.
Still my idea, Mr. Fantastic. Go ahead, Miguel.
So, Lucky, I will agree with you 100%. The issue is, it's a false sense of validation that you're getting. It's a validation that's not going to be fruitful for you in the end. It's a validation that's very nebulous, meaningless, and it's airy. Right. So it's a misinterpretation or a miscalculation of one's own real wealth when it comes to getting what it is that you want, which I'm assuming in this conversation is relationship. Now, if all you want is a shot, then fine. You're the metric system that you use to validate yourself, you are right in the money. But if you want something more meaningful, something more productive, you're right. Unfortunately, it's the wrong calibrated measurement system to use when you want to assess how good you are at getting what it is that you want.
Thank you, Aaron, because I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying now we're at a time, right, to move it forward, where women are confused because they think sexual access mean that men like them. So now that we're all in the same, and y'all know Lucky's not delusional. I'm agreeing with y'all, but I'm adding more to the point that
hold on.
There is a reason for the delusion, because I have a cousin who got all his sex out from a young age with ugly girls at the school, all his sex out. And so when he wanted to date attractive women, it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know, his dad taught him that. I think that's wrong, but he said, get your practice with the ugly.
But
I don't know. The fat girl was the one that he was told to go for. I don't know why men touche, but I'm just saying that trust me, women definitely feel the need, even when you have them say pretty privilege on these panels. I don't hear y'all correct these women that us women don't feel are pretty. Y'all don't be like, hey girl, calm down. Y'all don't say none of that. Y'all lie.
We'll get canceled. We'll get canceled.
Hold on.
We'll get canceled.
Alexa, turn on everything.
Yeah. So shout out to Lucky again. Lucky is speaking from a place she don't know, because Lucky's not the ugly girl. Lucky's not the fat girl.
Exactly.
Lucky's not the whatever. So Lucky is campaigning for these women. Hold on, love. I'll let you get your shit off.
You're right.
All right. Now, the thing is this. Lucky, you done flew on a plane before, right? All right. They ever gave you like the little wings? Right, you know what I'm saying? You on American Airlines to get the American Airline wings, and they just pass it out randomly sometimes, right? They do it to the kids, right? The kids. When they give your kid the motherfucking wings, okay, like he a pilot, that don't make him a pilot. The kid believes that. Now, an adult, hey, if a stewardess or a pilot gave me a pair of wings, you're like, hey, man, I appreciate you, brother. There's no way, shape, and form in my mind I'm going to believe that I'm a pilot now.
You can be requesting taxi runway right, because you got
these are grown women. We have to stop giving grown women excuses for ignoring exactly who and what they are. Okay, If I only call you between the hours of 12 and 5 a.m., you have to be out before the trash man comes. Baby, you know your role. Okay. That's not access. That's not access at all. You're an option. So the woman, that's why she's aside. That's why she's hidden. That's why she never goes out with you in public. She's lying to herself to try and overcome whatever shame or whatever, embarrassment or whatever she have for her place being because of her lack of attractiveness. Okay, that man is not responsible for that. Okay, and y'all say this all the time. Them niggas don't care about you anyway. They just want to have sex. Y'all been saying that, Lucky, since we was kids, right? Niggas just want to fuck, right? So if you know this, it's counterintuitive, and it goes against what women have been saying for the longest, that every dude just wants to have sex. So if any dude wants to, and you niggas will fuck anything. So if you want to have sex and you have sex with anything, I can't believe you when you say, "Oh, I'm validated by you putting your penis inside of my vagina."
Can I say something real quick? Because both of y'all are right. Both of y'all are right. I think, Mr. Fantastic, you discounting the fact that women they subscribe to an ostensible reality. They have a non-exclusive relationship reality. They're able to convince themselves of things that are not true. So you're right, but she's right too, because women will convince themselves like, "Hey, no, I'm smashing all the same men she's smashing. I'm beautiful." They are able to you're right, but they are able to convince themselves otherwise because they have a non-exclusive relationship with reality, right? Their viewpoint on romance is more chimerical than it is reality. So what you're saying is right, and they don't know how to separate sexual attention from marital intention, which is what my other brother was saying. But because they suffer from that type of cognitive dissonance, some of them will successfully convince themselves, not other people, not the homegirl they're arguing with, but they're successfully convince themselves that is actually true. And the self-reality is the only reality that matters, because that's the reality that we all operate from. But go ahead, I digress.
In other words, when men have post-nut clarity, they have post-sex confusion. So everything you said might be right, but goes out the window once they have sex with you. Once that cortisol's been released, they get in the la-la land, whereas we come back to reality. It's the inverse of one another. That's why we're opposite.
Just real quick before we let go.
Sorry, fam. Go ahead.
Buggy ain't wait. Go ahead, Buggy. I'll go after
I was going to say, Lucky is right that if ugly women have sex with men, they will think they deserve that kind of man, right? But the difference from men is that if a man has sex with ugly women, he doesn't think that that's going to qualify him for the more beautiful women. Eventually, a man realizes to get the beautiful women, you need the cash money. That's the difference. For men, sex doesn't tell us that we can afford the beautiful women. We always know the reason most men go for the ugly women, because they don't require much. We know the beautiful women require the money and the spending. So that's the difference between men and women when it comes to sex.
What about the man that doesn't need money and he just gets beautiful women?
So
every man pays in some way.
So I'm about to say what you're saying. I'm about to address what Lucky says. Beautiful women, I'm gonna go all the way through this. Beautiful women don't have to have sex to get what they want from men at all. Beautiful women don't have to do anything at all, but she'll weaponize it against men. Ugly women, they gotta have sex. They gotta perform acts of service to get men. Second, men who have to pay, men who have to pay to have sex with you, I have to buy love. You're not attracted to them. They know you're not attracted to them as well too. They have to pay to play. They don't have to do anything but show up. The attractive men don't have to do anything but show up to the encore, to the end of the club, to pull the women that been dancing with the men all night, the women all night, and buying them drinks all night. All he got to do is pull up at the end of the club and be like, you, let's go. We already know we're not going to lie for women. It's like women ain't going to really lie to men unless they enable them and trying to validate them as well too. Ugly women know they ugly, and attractive women know they attractive. The ugly men know who ugly, and attractive men know who attractive. All of us get in our lane. Let's not play dumb, and we're not going to play dumb for women in 2026. The attractive women right now are getting cash apps. They're getting flown out. They get whatever they want, and they're not even having sex with the men. The ugly women, they can't use their looks. because they can't use their attractiveness. They'll use everything else to get access to these men, but they know they have to use this to get access to the man. So let's stop playing around and beating around the bush, even though there's people beating around the bush.
Thank you, Crimson Cure. I see you. Thank you, because they respect you. Maybe if you said it, they would agree.
Like, stop doing Lucky. Don't make me pray. Man, hold on. You know I gotta pray. Hold on.
You're a victim.
I am.
Yeah. Hey, just cleaning up my words. I use cortisol when I meant to say oxytocin.
I understood what you meant.
Oh my God, she's a feminism. Okay, whatever. Jesus, I was born 1991. Sorry.
Well, no, I just want to. My bad. Yeah. So again, this is the thing, man. You can't. This is the same argument to where if you just blame the men all the time, the women are never held accountable, and the women are never going to change, or they have a reason to. If a woman not living in the real world is an excuse, hell, I can be a giraffe today. Okay, I'm a billionaire tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm a giraffe.
You close to that giraffe shit already.
I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon motherfucking on Saturday. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Women always have this out, right? And listen, I understand it that it's the way that women are to a thing. Women lie to themselves all the time. So as men, we have to push back and be like, Shawty, you know what it was. Come on. You know that, you was a wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. It is what it is. We not together. Hey, this is your role. And unfortunately, like I say, if you're unattractive, a lot of the times that's going to be the thing until, like I say, tax time. This is where ugly baby mamas shine every year. You know what I'm saying? You finna see a lot of baby daddies holding hands and in the line with the kids, and
baby
all
daddies
kinds
holding
of.
hands with each other.
Huh?
You said baby daddies holding hands with each other.
Why would they? That's impossible. You can't be two baby daddies. What are you talking about? There ain't no brother activity going
I
around
thought
here.
y'all doing like the Golden Girls, but the male version.
No, ma'am. No, baby daddies holding hands with their undesirable hidden baby mamas. Okay, and as men, we've seen this.
Oh, that's a good one.
We've seen this. Okay.
You finna start seeing men that don't claim they don't claim the ugly one.
Yeah, we seen it.
No.
You don't know.
Why y'all don't claim the ugly
I'm
girl?
seeing it right back. The
Y'all
ugly girl doesn't even get taken out in public.
Yeah.
She come outside at night. All she is, she's at nighttime. Like men don't even take her
trash
out in public.
She who you
really?
Yes. Lucky.
It happens all the time.
If you only get calls between 2 o'clock
Lucky, this real life.
in the morning, that's your lane. Hey, Lucky, you say women know their lane. They need to stay in their lane.
Yeah, she know it.
Staying in the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning lane.
And Lucky, and she don't even press the issue because she understands that's what it is.
Understand what's going on?
Yeah, she know what it is.
So you don't know no men that have ugly wives and they go out with their wives.
Yeah, of course, obviously, yes.
That's
Lucky,
a minority. You gonna do the minority?
Hold on. Y'all gotta ask her define ugly, because a man will love a 5 or a 6, but a lot of women think 5s and 6s are ugly.
That's another thing. That's a great point. Hey, you know what? Hey, no, why so serious? That's a great point. So, Lucky, at what number does ugly start for a woman? To a woman?
4.
A 4, right? So no, we're on the same scale then. So we got the same scale. So 5 or better is average. Okay. So Lucky, I'm this is a true story. I'll never forget this. Dude, I met in the Navy a long time ago. I hadn't seen him for years. He got stationed down here. We're at like one of the little bounce house places or whatever, so on and so forth. And I'm like, hey, what's going on, bro? I ain't seen you in a minute, whatever. And Buddy was like trying to be fast, right? He was like, real short with the thing. He was trying to get up out of there, whatever, whatnot, what have you. And I didn't understand what it was, but hey, I'm getting out of the way. Hey, the brother in the rush, he here with his kids, he got whatever. He's real short. I wasn't trying to belabor it, so on and so forth. Then guess what, Lucky? Guess who walked around the corner? I looked at him. I looked at her. I looked back at him. I saw despair in his eyes. Like, oh shit. And he was like, I was like,
who walked around the corner?
I'm a large mama. A booger wolf, as we say down here, Aaron. A
farm animal. Okay, all right.
Booger wolf, brother.
It's time for some super chats.
a shout out to the. Hey, I dropped the link. No, I didn't. My bad, yo. That's when I act like I sent the message, but I didn't. Poppy, I dropped the link. Much love to the 435 people in the building, y'all. Please like and subscribe. Please hit the share button at the bottom of the screen. It helps with the algorithm and it helps us get farther in the YouTube universe, man. Please help us out. My sister Mimi, another person who gaslighted me, hit me with 99 cents. Boy, I thought that was $100. Much love to you, though. Like 50 Cent says, every cent counts. Y'all see, y'all know what I'm talking about. My brother Too Cool with the $5 super chat. If 6 was about that life, why didn't you join the army? Man, we got to join the army to be about that life now.
Thank you for the $5. We were all born to be untouchable.
Ah, man. My brother Carl Anderson gifted us with 5 memberships, y'all. We need 14 more memberships, y'all, to reach our goals, and only $65 more in the Cash App to reach all our goals for the show. Much love to y'all, my brother Carl Anderson, for gifting us 5 memberships. Y'all, we got 570 memberships now, yo. That's 570 memberships, almost to 600 memberships, man. Much love to everybody who's become a member and who's donating. My brother Fam Nice with the $10 super chat. Qualitative research can attempt to measure the things that Mr. Fantastic says cannot be measured. We need a researcher to create such a study, but it can be done. Interviews, collecting data. I don't know if you got a rebuttal for that.
We just got $10, kinfolk. You know what that means, right? We back on our feet again. I ain't gonna hold you. Support the healing people.
You about to say something about that?
Yeah, I was like, no, brother, it would be opinion. There, what I'm saying is, even if you did interviews, that would be a person's personal opinion. There's no way for you to verify it. A person telling you about their feelings that can't be quantified regardless. There's no such thing as a feelings detector or a feelings measurer. So even if I did an interview to say, oh, well, do you think you have a good relationship with women and understanding of women? Okay, I guess.
And then my brother Mont hit my brother Boogie with $10. Sounds like a child. People bullied him for being dumb, and he vowed to devote his life to learning the biggest words as humanly possible from that day forward. No disrespect. That's how it sounds. I told y'all better bring out them dictionaries. My brother 6 solid though, and both Fantastic and 6 solid. There's things that I disagree with. He know what I'm talking about, 6, but for the most part, man, they both solid brothers, man. My brother T.O. with the $20 super chat. Supercalifragilistic dang. I used to be able to do it. Somebody want to do it, man?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
All right. I almost had it. I just lost.
Shout out to T.O. for knowing how to spell it, period.
Lost all my cool points.
Thank you for the $20. We're starting a nonprofit called Keep the Untouchables Fed. Remember, don't feed the haters.
And then my brother Sophisticated Jerk hit us with a $10 super chat. Shout out to 6. I'm going to use all the words at work tomorrow and get a raise. Much love to you, my brother. That's a good one. And then my brother Passport Salvation with a $2 super chat. Our lead to females is God, woman, child, then man last. You know what? I don't think so. It's a child, woman, God, then man.
It's herself, man, then maybe her kid, then God.
No, before. No, yeah, you're right, Lucky, though. You're right. I gotta concede. No, she right. It's woman, child, God, then man. No, Lucky.
No, I put the dick before the child. The dick come up before the child.
Until that man,
you do, but you don't keep them. You have to keep that child and responsibility of that child. You don't keep the responsibility to that man. You actually try to. What you try to do when you jumped on that thing is you try to control it, and when you couldn't control it, you got a baby out that thing. So now you become typically by yourself, and the man ends up either going to another woman or being by himself as well too. So I agree with you that they put that in a certain position, but I'll give you herself, woman, child, God, then man. And God is, we trying to figure out who that God is still. Because it got
Lucky the rose comes before the dick. The rose comes
Oh,
before the dick.
oh my God. Whoa. Oh my goodness, Boogie with the wind. Hey, the rose got to be up in there too. That's crazy. Marine with the $2 super chat. Statistics don't lie. Anecdotal is irrelevant. My brother Young Jay with the $5 super chat. Anybody with a few $100 bills can rent, lease, attend. Stop the cat. That's never been the argument. Yeah, that's never been the argument.
Thank you for the $5, homie. For real. You know what that means? It's our time to shine. Let's light it up.
And then my brother Mott, let me see, hit my brother Boogie again with a $2 super chat. It's not getting Beyonce. It's not getting Beyonce settling. No, we said it's different for men. A man will take the Humpback of Notre Dame if she was a female and make her his Beyonce. Sure will. Mott with the $5 super chat on Boogie side again. Settling is having realistic opportunity to get something potentially if you wait, and choosing not to risk it. Not being with Beyonce isn't settling. We agreed already. Men know their lanes. We don't see it that way. We say women settle because they don't treat their hunchback in Notre Dame like Leonardo DiCaprio. And for our ladies, Morris Chestnut or Idris Elba or whoever y'all want us to pick, because Tiana Taylor just left Aaron Pierre, and I guess he was Mufasa, but I guess that didn't matter either because y'all don't stay with nobody.
Ali, I have a question.
Sorry about that. You're not Beyonce, okay?
On to the next thing.
I'll take Michelle. Okay.
Question? Nah, it was a
Michelle
joke. Like,
who?
question? Mont again on Boogie side with a $2 super chat. With the $2 super chat, the one thinks, hey man, y'all better get y'all internet straight. The one thinks she's a 10. I know you ain't in the dark and we can't see you, Blanco, but I ain't gonna say nothing. The one thinks she's a 10 because y'all still bombing. That's absolutely not true. She knows she throw back. She knows she gotta pack it up. I gotta get that pack it up button too. Mont with the $2, and I gotta get that trash. Yo, what's that dude name? They go trash. What's that dude name?
I don't know. Bubba Dub.
I love that. Yo,
Bubba Dub.
I love that dude, yo. And he just got to say that the whole show. He just say that though. Trash. My coast coming in with the co-signer for Lucky on Boogie side again with the $2 super chat. Lucky is right as usual. Even though we know that's wrong.
Well, if I'm wrong, Ali, you just said something about you'll take a ugly person and make her Beyonce. So are any of you gentlemen attracted to Pearl? She's been single.
Hell
no.
No. You missed my point. If a man,
no, don't derail. Just keep going.
There's men who would treat Pearl like they're Beyonce.
We have not found it yet.
And we said again, most men's wives are average Lucky. And they'll treat and you know, Lucky the same way. You know what a man won't do, Lucky?
Just having fun. Okay.
I know I'm having fun too. A woman will literally bend over and disrespect a man in front of a dude that she's attracted to and make sure she noticed, where most men will never do that to his woman. If there's a pretty woman or attractive woman that better than her, will never disrespect his woman in front of her, where most women will, just to get attention. And we see it countlessly over and over again. That's something man will never do, is disrespect his woman in front of a woman that may be more attractive than her, because it ain't that serious to him. To a woman, she got to be seen. Her superpower is attention, even though it should be respect, because if she respected, she's ultimately one of the most powerful, but she cares more about attention than being respected. Striking it rich with the $2 super chat. That feminism leaks out of Lucky every now and then. You know, she about to hit you. I ain't say that, Lucky. They ain't Lucky you looked up like that. And then my brother 110.7 Esco with a $20 super chat. Ali, you the realest ninja on YouTube now. It used to be AD, but he's pandering to women on his own panel for money, and it's starting to backfire. Very sad to you, bro. Please don't ever change and tell the truth. Much love to you, my brother.
Thank you for the $20. We're starting a nonprofit called Keep the Untouchables Fed. Remember, don't feed the haters.
Thank you for the love, man. Thank you for the love. My brother Mont again with the $2 super chat. Lucky is cooking y'all. Fight back. Hey man, Mont just being his usual stuff, man.
The untouchable empire, baby.
And his
And
girl
then, my,
bad.
and then my brother Sky High gifted us with 5 more memberships, man. I think we need 9 more memberships, and we just need. Let me see. Hold on. Did somebody bless my cash app? Oh, somebody. Just 65 more in the cash app. Much love again for all the contributions, the donations, and the support, and the phenomenal panels as well too. But I gotta hit my button too. I gotta still hit my button. Okay. Go ahead. I think Blanco, what you got to say, my brother? And hold on, why so serious? Did you get to speak? You got to speak a little bit, but you ain't really get to speak. You just responded. Go ahead, my brother. And then Blanco, I guess he won with the darkness tonight. So after him, he can go with you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
I mean, y'all pretty much saying I joined and then y'all turned around and said what I was gonna say.
Oh man, that's one of that. That's what happened. Who
All
did
I
it?
will say is even the most logical thinking woman shows some form of feminism or delusion every now and then. Lucky, you might be top 3 most logical sound woman I've heard on Ali podcast. But you're still a woman though. Privilege is invisible to those that have, and you have a lot of it.
But you still a woman. Is that like a negative or what?
I'm saying
you can't give her no compliment. You can't give her that. You just did it. Like,
no, I don't like backhanded compliments because a compliment
it's not a backhanded compliment. At the end of the day, you still a woman. It's not.
Ali, don't instigate because you know how it goes on panels. You don't know these people, so they could be coming from different angles. So I'm just trying to.
Good people. I know him though.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying.
He's good people.
I didn't get I would just give him a compliment and say you're handsome. I wouldn't say, but you're still a man. You know what I'm saying? How that kind of takes the compliment away. Because I am a woman, so we hear differently.
What I'm saying is because you are a woman, you still gonna have as logical as you is. I'm pretty sure you have some. Have you ever had a man tell you got outrageous ass standards?
No,
you never. Well, then I digress. Then I'm wrong. Players mess up too.
Then you gave up that fast, man.
What can I say? What am I?
Dang, man. I have faith in you, man. Don't let Lucky get away
I
with
know
that.
for a fact, women. I know for a fact, even the most logical sound woman got some form of delusion, and it shows when she's with her man. That's all I'm saying.
And you think she's gonna? And you think she's gonna say yes? Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? I know she's not gonna say yes, so I digress.
You see what I'm saying, Ali? It like already, if you think because I'm a female, I'm a liar.
Lucky, they just joking. Lucky, you joking.
No, wait. How does this translate? Because we can say it's jokes, but when I'm joking, y'all took it serious.
No, they
so I'm not serious. See what y'all doing? Y'all, look, come on, calm down. I am calm. I'm playing with y'all, but I'm just saying how y'all consider.
I ain't saying that. I welcome the discourse.
But if I was to do the same thing, I'm all the hurls, hurls.
But Lucky, you making this point.
If you do that to
He's
me,
making mine.
Lucky, if you do that to
Lucky,
me,
watch
I
this.
won't give a. If you do that to me, I won't care because I don't know you outside of this. Is
I
what
would
I'm
never
saying.
do that to you because I'm respectful. That's what I'm saying.
Lucky, watch this. Just a couple weeks ago, I did say women are more logical when it comes to relationships than men, and the men attacked me. So trust me, if the guy is saying you're logical,
And as long as I don't threaten, I can say what I want. Am I correct? Yes. We sick and tired of that nigga there.
I said it last week, a couple weeks ago, and the men attacked me. So
this man said that he said, Lucky, that women are more logical than men. What you think about that, Lucky?
In relationship?
You're not a feminist because you hold on real quick because Lucky not a feminist. Hey, Lucky, do you believe women are more logical than men?
No.
Okay.
I think logic is absent today, period.
Lucky, if you say it's not gender specific, Lucky, I swear to God.
If it's your house, you're setting the rules. You want to control me. I'm a liar. I'm a female, so I'm just lying up here, just lying. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So, can I say that? Is that a lie?
No.
I can say that? Okay.
No, you never lie. Women never lie. They
Yeah,
tell us.
men always know how to choose.
Who lie more?
Are we in competition with each other? I thought we're not in
No, I
competition.
didn't say we're not. Y'all.
It's not
so
about who lies
cooperative.
more because
Y'all
the
so
liar ruins the family. So it doesn't matter who lies more.
So
We should
who
lie.
typically breaks the family?
In what situation? What scenario?
In most situations, who typically walks away from the family and breaks it?
Are we going to the same stat that says women leave divorces? We've had that conversation many
No,
times.
I just asked you in your personal experience or in what you or the data you come across in typically.
In my experience,
Yeah, because you said earlier with Rush, people be speaking on experiences that they never had. Speak on yours.
true. Which one? I speak on it a lot, just not
Well,
on
yeah.
this channel. So which experience? When women leave, in my experience, no. Women don't leave, in my experience.
Women don't. Okay, let me ask you this: how many men have you broken up with in your lifetime?
She's not gonna tell you. Come on, bro.
No, how many men have you broken up with in your lifetime? Look,
You see what I'm saying? So you see what happens? He asked me a question. I would answer the question, but what he did was just set the stage. So any answer, it's up for debate. So why would I even talk? So just talk to men. No, just talk to men. That matters more. Y'all just want to hear men about women. So just talk to men.
No, I'm talking to you. I'm not
It's kind of
ahead,
personal. I'm just
Christina,
defending
girl.
you.
Say, Lucky. Can you answer the question? Because I agree with you. I think that was a goofy interjection. I'm really interested in hearing your genuinely.
Yeah.
So
this
how
is not
many
me being funny.
relationships have I left? 3.
Yeah. How many men have you stopped talking to, left alone?
Stop talking to is different. More than I can count.
So how many relationships have you where you dated a man and you left him alone?
3.
How many men have actually left you alone in a relationship?
0.
So exactly, men don't leave.
Well, I wouldn't do that to her.
Hold on.
I'm not going to that.
So statistically,
someone over here just cashed at me $100. Don't know who you are. Shout out to you.
That's what I'm
Make your
talking
money.
about. See, that's woman power. Statistically, and it's not just because you a woman.
Yo, I'm out, man. I'm out, bro. Shout out Ali. Lucky that
Ali, you're wrong for that.
The Godfather is certified.
Mistake though. It's not just one.
Lucky just flexed on niggas and be like, hey, whether you niggas believe me or not, these niggas tricking on me.
He said, we've been working a 6-hour
He
shift.
said that. I answered Aaron's question directly, so I
Hey,
don't
what did
add
he say?
any
Did he say
context,
just
so I'll
cause?
just
He
repeat
didn't
it.
say nothing, did he? He said 100. Did he say anything?
I'm not gonna say what it says. It said nice things. Thank you. It said shout out to you. Look pretty on the panel. Thank you.
That's great.
See,
That's
that
game.
right there.
But I was
tells
just
me-
answering Aaron's. I was just answering you yes or no, so we can. I don't know what context, so I didn't want to be. So I'm just answering yes.
Sure. That right there kind of tells us we can't take your anecdotal experiences and use them. You know what I mean? Like we can't invest in that because evidently you're a different breed. So I want to know, why is it that you think initially what you said, you think men leave women more or women leave men more? What was your stance?
Because I judged men leaving based on their actions. So I think that in a lot of times in relationships, a man could check out of the relationship before he physically leaves. I just actually broke it off.
That's not true.
So that's how I assess it. So when we're saying how
retracting
relationships
investment-
left, yes, but
Okay, so retracting investment, you equate that with actually severing the relationship.
correct.
Okay.
But
And a
that's
man's
not
mind, I
right,
think, is
because-
different.
Yeah.
So you didn't do nothing to warrant him to change?
And that's why it's different in a man's mind. See what he just did?
Luckily, you
Well, because it has to be taken into account.
What is
Because
the chain
women
of
think that
events?
they don't do nothing wrong in a relationship.
So
No,
that's
I'm
the
sure
cause
we,
and
we we equally did things.
No, okay.
Hey, Crib and Cure. I have to rebuttal this. Women love saying that men check out of relationships, but they still love their woman. They still responsible for their woman, and they still will always be there for their woman. They might dislike the way you treat them, the way you maneuver with them, but they never
Yep.
stop loving their women. So I hate that point when women say that the men check out. They check out the relationship aspect of expecting you to do the things that you said you were going to do, but they typically don't ever stop loving their women. We love way harder than y'all. We
You
love
just-
way more
Right.
serious than y'all. So
Right.
it's not the same.
Right.
Y'all, we cannot like our woman
That's
and love her
crazy
to
what
death.
you
Let me
just said,
laugh. No, I'm gonna tell you straight up. We cannot like the way our woman maneuver, but that's our woman. We love our woman. We love all of her. Y'all will like how you can benefit from a man, But soon as you don't get your way and you lose control, you'll leave that man because you actually don't love that man.
That's
because you
crazy
can take
what you
you,
did.
the only way we know if a woman loves us is if she's tested. She has to be tested with something just like you test us to see if we'll still stay with you. Women will take all the hell the women can give and still stay with her. A woman can't even handle a man's heaven. You can't, it becomes boring. Y'all grow apart, irreconcilable differences. But she has to actually have to love this guy. Now he's the problem.
Let me ask Lucky a question.
Oh yeah, my brother.
I got what you were saying, Kendra. Thank you. Us women understand.
Oh, okay, hold on real quick. Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Hey, Chris. If your kids are acting up, your children, and they're acting up, and they're all over the place, would you ever stop loving your kid?
No.
Would you ever disown your kid?
No.
You actually love that kid, right?
Absolutely.
If a man does the same thing and makes the woman inconveniences a woman in that same capacity and gets on her nerves and makes her emotional distress, would she stay with that man and stay loyal like her kid, or she'll leave that man?
I'm gonna preface this again. I'm out
Out the cave.
Okay. Then she may leave.
She's gonna leave. It's all over her emotions, but she'll stay dedicated to her family. She'll stay dedicated to a gay friend. She'll stay dedicated to that dog that's pooping and peeing all over the house. She'll stay dedicated to the kids that she can't control. But for some reason, the man that love her and respect her more than anybody, she can't respect and cooperate with that man for the longevity of a relationship. She will leave him over her feelings.
So wait, I think so.
Can I say
ahead,
something?
my dear.
Lucky,
No,
the
go ahead.
reason why I keep saying I'm out of my cave, because a lot of times when I was asked questions, I would be speaking from my own personal
Anecdotal.
experiences,
Yes.
which are quite different from the general census. So that's why I keep saying that.
And what we respect about Chris is she's fighting her nature. It's like, oh, not me. But she goes, no, not my cave. But that cave out there, yes, they typically doing that. But she wants to say, not me, Ali. I wouldn't do that as a wife. I wouldn't. Do that as a wife.
Shout out to being a great and fair communicator, though.
She's
Right?
she definitely is, of course, and it's very well respected, man. Like you can
Yeah,
tell,
yeah.
it's like, not me, but I'm not in that cave though.
Right. So I think this is a good teachable moment. So that's what I was saying, Lucky, about the difference between checking out and actually severing relationship. The one last remaining bastion and thread that attaches a man to a woman is his loyalty. And even when he's gotten to a point where he may have checked out, he'll never sever that last thread simply because loyalty is driving him to stay there, which is what the question he asked. It became profoundly apparent to me when he asked Ms. Chris about children, right? Even if they've purported themselves to be the Antichrist, you're still going to love them because you have a loyalty to your children. And I think that's the part that's the last thread that keeps a man attached to a woman that he just cannot sever. Everything else, though, you're right. And I can see how, from your perspective, I can see how it would look like the same thing because you're not benefiting from the relationship once he's checked out. So you might as well sever it. But from a man's perspective, that last thread is what Ali was describing that we hold on to. And that's the difference.
Because storms will come.
Right.
This we know for sure. This we know.
So, Aaron,
Can you stand the rain? That's it. And I don't know if you love me until you get mad at me. I don't know if you love me until I get on your nerves. I don't know if you love me.
So why are you
until I
checking
tell
out
you
of your
something
relationship
you don't know,
if you love
Lucky.
her?
I don't know if you love me until you don't get your way. I don't know if you love me until I correct you and redirect you and you're able to take my direction, even if you don't agree with it. You have to be tested and show me that you love me, especially when I say no. But when y'all do that to men, a man still again will break the brakes off of you when he's mad by the end of that night. If you make a woman mad, here come the grudge queens. She will hold on to that a week, 2 weeks, a month. When she gets mad, she holds a grudge. Where man won't hold a grudge. He still wants to make love to his woman at the end of the night.
Yep.
Correct me if anybody know what I'm talking about.
I do. Definitely.
Of course they do, because they believe they have no flaw in a relationship. So
No,
anybody
it ain't that. It ain't that. It's like when you
I can't even land
get
my
into
plane.
it with the person you're with.
It just keep it tugging, and then somebody else trying to shoot it out the sky. I mean,
and my brother Rodney, let Lucky land real quick, and you be the first one to respond, please, my brother.
Because I think somebody had a clear question, so I wanted the question. What I'm trying to say is, how come every time a married woman, especially because she's more credible, a woman give a perspective that shows a man checking out physically with his actions, different things, try to communicate, maybe he's just not there. How come that instantly turned into justifying that action and then making her at fault again? Y'all don't see how y'all do that. If we're talking about male and female, there is mutual things that happen. People go through things, all of that. So you're really just trying to make it seem like because he hasn't physically did the paperwork that his actions or his lack of in the relationship is justified for whatever reason, because she's the one that actually pulled the trigger and say, you know what, I'm tired of going around the house like we're roommates. You know, I'm just going to divorce. Somebody has to always give up. So I'm not saying that there aren't other instances where women are just leaving for small reasons, but just to totally gloss over that point, it just keeps us there and not move the conversation forward, as if women don't have an experience with men who are also men that weren't taught it's okay to communicate, weren't taught how to communicate, or have a total mindset of the woman in general. So that way, when she comes to communicate her feelings, oh, here we go again. Oh, it's dismissive body language. So those are things that also help a woman shut down for her to actually leave. So if y'all are judging a relationship based on who physically leaves, but not but promoting sufferable relationships where there's no problems to resolve, that's what it sounds like. Because anytime a woman it brings in a perspective from a wife, the men up here that don't have I'm not talking about the men who are in a relationship, I'm just talking about the men that don't have that long term. It's like it gets dismissed. And I don't know why we keep doing that, because it makes it a war where if we're on family, it's about a family. So we both have concerns. That's
Lucky has a fair point.
Hold on.
That's
No,
fair.
she don't. So we're not going to
because
we're not. So let's not dismiss it. If a man does something wrong, he'll say, I'm wrong. He'll say, I'm sorry. Even if you did wrong, he will take that L for that time to get him back. Can I land? I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish. Jesus. He would demonstrate for her that he would even take accountability for what she does wrong by saying, okay, I'm wrong this time. I'm wrong the second time. I'm wrong the third time. Eventually, the man still doesn't want to leave his woman. He wants to see if she'll correct herself. He wants to see if she'll apologize. He wants to see if she'll say she's sorry. He wants to see if she'll walk back in what she said to him. He wants to see if she'll put the man over her feelings. He wants to see if can I land? No, he wants to see if she's actually submissive.
I just wanted to ask her a question.
And hold on again. And he wants to see if she's the woman that'll do anything for him, because Chris said the same thing. Women who love their men and respect their men will do anything for those men, and they're submissive to those men. But for some reason, she can't apologize. She can't tell you when she's wrong. She can't give you the same energy when she disrespected you, the same energy to give love to you. So all men do is say, I don't want to leave I'm a land and you got it. I don't want to leave my woman. I don't want to break up this relationship. I don't want to break up my family. I'm still allowing this woman to see if she'll pick us over her feelings and see if she'll finally say I'm sorry or apologize. That's what typically happens. And if she does it, and I'm landing right now. And Chris, you know
can't say that though.
I am. I'm landing. I asked, hold on. I asked Rodney to hold on so Lucky can land. So please let me land. The way a woman apologizes is when she finally cooks for you. The way a woman apologizes is when she finally has sex with you. She will never own up to it. She will do something to demonstrate that she was sorry. Most men actually wait for when she takes ownership of when she's wrong. So we typically never check out until you actually cheat or you actually leave. Now you got the floor.
It seems like everybody ready for me to go. Say kick Lucky. Y'all got it.
All right, come on, Lucky. Don't do that.
I'm not rage baiting. Don't do that. I've been up here long enough when y'all was up here arguing.
Lucky, you just asked Rodney to land and you won't let me land. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I see because this is the thing. You just set up here and said,
why you do this, Lucky? Why you always, Lucky?
Because you just set up here and said, when that happens,
Lucky, you do this.
Communicate.
Why so serious? Hold on.
I literally sit on a panel with men who can't communicate effectively with other men.
I stopped everybody. No, Lucky, you're wrong. I stopped so many men from talking across you and say, hold on. Don't do that. I said, hold on. Plenty of times to me.
Ali, you just proved my point. If men know how to talk and communicate, why do you have to interrupt them on how to communicate?
You interrupt, Lucky. You've been interrupting too. Don't do that. You've been interrupting too.
You just said men, and listen to the scenario. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is, you're saying men in these situations with women come and say, "Hey, we know how to." They try to communicate with said woman so effectively. You said that. But the demonstration today just showed men can't even communicate with each other effectively without a mediator. So you're saying two people emotionally involved, the woman is feeling a certain way. So a man coming in and he's like, babe, what's wrong? That's not true. Men do not effectively communicate in relationships. Where are you getting that from?
No, you're wrong.
That's not true.
You're absolutely wrong. Men will suffer in silence
Okay,
and not say
I told y'all
absolutely
I'm wrong
nothing.
regardless.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong regardless. Men will stop communicating because only time a woman's available is when it's something she cares about. When women say be emotionally intelligent, emotionally available, it's about what she cares about. If a man comes to his woman, hey Chris,
Yes.
I don't like how you talked to me today. I really didn't appreciate how you talked to me today. Hey Chris, I didn't like that. I really wanted you to cook this week, but you always want us to eat out. Hey, Chris, I don't like the fact that I wanted to make love to you Thursday and Friday, but you didn't feel like making love to me. Most men can't keep communicating that. It's one of the most unattractive things that started happening to a woman who doesn't want to cooperate or stay consistent with her purpose to her man or her responsibility to her man. We got to be honest about that. Men communicate phenomenally. Matter of fact, he wouldn't even be in a relationship if he didn't want to be soft and loving to his woman. A man ain't trying to talk to his woman the same way he talks to no man. And she wouldn't be with him if he talked to her the same way he talked with a man. So it's disingenuous to say that men lack communication skills with their women. They can communicate exactly what they mean. But if it's something that she has to change, if it's something that she has to do, typically she'll shut down and make it about herself.
Mm-hmm. That's all I was trying to say. I mean, just like when you get into it with your girl, I think we can, like 5 minutes later, it's water under the bridge.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You still love
Let's
her.
move on. I'm smacking you on the ass. I'm kissing you on your neck. You know, whatever. But also, women don't come at men in a way of softness no more. It's all rah, rah, rah. You're not listening to my feelings or how I feel. I'm not trying to listen to you. You coming to me like a man. Come down, sit on my lap. Baby, I need to talk to you. Something soft and settled. It'll ease all the attention. We're going to listen. We're going to figure it out. We're going to move forward. But we don't get that kind of level of respect as men. Especially when you got a man that takes care of the house. And then for Lucky to sit there and say that men don't do that, but men still provide the house, the food, the electric, everything like that. But then the women don't want to cook for you, don't want to give you no ass, and then always got an attitude all at the same time. I mean, we're just supposed to sit there and bear and take it until they ain't got that attitude no more.
Yeah. And the truth is, the woman will keep tallies. She'll go tit for tat.
Yep.
And she'll start becoming a victim in the house. You think she growing and y'all learning each other. You think she thinks you care about her, but by saying, hey, sometimes when you wrong, I'll accept the accountability that I'm wrong. So I'll show you that I'll put us above the relationship, or you put her feelings above yours at times to demonstrate to her that you love her. But what she'll do while you building a case to show that you love her, she'll build a case to leave you. One day you wake up and she built all those tit for tat and tallies to go, oh, you know, all them times I was in my feelings. Yeah, you were wrong. I didn't never think you were wrong. Excuse me, that I was wrong. You were wrong. So now on this Friday, 5 years into the relationship, she's ready to leave you. She kept all the tallies to leave where you thought y'all were demonstrating how much y'all love for each other, for richer or for poor, for better or for worse, and y'all ain't even married yet, or you married, that it was growing your relationship because you would never disown your child. Your child could spill milk. Your child can get in trouble. Your kids can do certain things. You can butt heads with your mother and father. I've had crazy arguments with my mother and father before. I love them in the same breath. And my kids, I got friends the same way. You don't think it tears people apart, but what it does, she keeps a tally in her mind of every time she didn't get her way, and eventually she goes, I can't control this man. If she's an immature woman and not ready to be a wife, she's going to go, I got to go to another man that'll enable my feelings and validate me, and someone I can control.
Yep. Facts.
Blanca, what you about to say, my brother? You sitting there like you about to play next week in the Super Bowl, in a couple of weeks in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what's cool? How's everybody doing, yo?
What it do, Blanco?
Good.
We trying to stay alive,
Good.
man.
Yeah, I see you, Lee, man. Hey, you been having a good run, family. I'm proud of you, my son.
I'm trying, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring love back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's keep it going. this should even be a discussion, bro. The man is way more loyal than a woman, bro. Is the man the one that's staying in the sexless marriage? That's how they call it, right? Is the
In the
man
who?
that's staying on those, right? In sexless marriage, right? They stay there, right?
Yes.
When they, right?
Yes.
Is a
Yes.
man? Some men now is getting their ass whipped by their women nowadays. The women go across their head and everything, bro. They still stay, right? They treat them like shit. Because for the most part, whether the man wants to leave or not, he still stay there because for the most part, he got something to lose at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Even if he don't got that much money, guess what? He's gonna go from his three bedroom home into a 1 bedroom apartment in a heartbeat. So he's the one that has to endure for the most part, like the losses of the relationship. I think it's a famous quote that goes like this: when a woman leave you, she left you 6 months earlier. When a man leaves you, she left 6 months later. There is a reason why that quote was said. Did I say it right? I don't know. I think I'm probably messing
Hey,
up.
we know
something like that.
Something like that, but we know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Right. So that should even be a discussion. And I know I wanted to jump on the whole ugly girl thing. Like, yo, an ugly woman know what she stand, bro. They know she knows that she is after 10 o'clock activity. When you go to a restaurant, Papa does, you know what I mean, Estate 44, Maestro, City Hall, all these restaurants. I want you to take a look around and to see if a man is taking an ugly woman on a date. And I seriously doubt that you're going to see that. The only time you're going to see an ugly woman at a restaurant is most likely this man got 20, 30 years with this woman and she don't got fat and ugly. We take that. You see what I'm saying?
Nah,
Hey,
she with her friends.
Or it's a job promotion and they taking her over there so they can celebrate. That's just what it is. I ain't made the rules. I see that all the time, yo. The only time you're gonna see a man with with an ugly girlfriend or something is at Walmart. You catch them all of them at Walmart, and you're gonna see how depressed that man look. That means do not look happy, bro. I'm sorry. That's just what it is, bro. That's what I noticed. Go ahead, Ali.
No. I mean, but the thing is this: it's when you start thinking about the problem that still bothers me is the fact that women are pushing men to marry them just to divorce them. Women are pushing and fighting for men to be with them just to leave them. It makes no sense. And that's why, Chris, that's what we're trying to understand more as men. Why are women pushing so hard? Like if it would, women want the relationships. It's the men who will keep that friends with benefits, and he'll stay outside and still do his thing. And he's not stressed. He don't have to worry about no problems. He ain't got to worry about no demands. And I said it earlier. If we struggling with commitment in relationships, let's be all friends with benefits. Let's be friends with benefits. You don't got to control me. I don't got to control you. You know who's going to switch up as soon as we commit to those type of relationships, Chris?
It's going to be a woman. I mean,
gonna be a
I won't
woman.
disagree.
But what's
a lot of
happening
what
is
you guys said is true.
she's going to want to control a man. She's not going to want him to exercise his power, but then he's not going to want him to control her. Why should I give up all the things that I'm doing that takes the stress away from me, that makes my life easier, if when I get with you, you still want to do what you want to do, but not do what the man's asking you to do, which makes him, which gives an incentive for him to be in a relationship? What's the point of that? Why do I got to get in a relationship where I got to fight with this woman to listen? I got to fight with this woman to pay her bills. I got to fight with this woman to see that I love her. And she worked so hard to get me to that point. She was stressing before I got with her. She's fighting with you, having to be with her. You won't take me out in public. You won't let me meet your family. You do all of that. Now all of a sudden you're the worst person to ever walk on earth.
Yeah.
Like how did that happen?
I will tell you from what I've seen. As you guys know, I'm out the cave. Yes. So I'm gonna tell you what I've seen so far. You know, the order has been messed up, even from biblical terms. It's been messed up. The order is all out of whack. You know, we have all kinds of social influences today that are promoting bad behavior with women, unfortunately, and it is causing them to follow that trend instead of doing what we were designed to do. I'm not saying that we were designed to just be cave women. But in regard to honoring and respecting men, We're being taught to be a boss chick, be an independent woman, and unfortunately minimizing the man. And I think it's an agenda of the devil ultimately, because I follow biblical principles. But I think that another issue is that a lot of times women, because we don't have skill in vetting good men or men who have the capacity to be a good man and do right, we haven't vetted well. And so we end up getting with men who will mistreat us. And then it happens over and over again. And we think that that is the norm. And so by the time we finally meet a good man, we don't know how to treat that good man because we've been mistreated so many times because we haven't done our
Oh my
homework,
God.
unfortunately. So I think that's why that happens. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a boss chick or being independent in certain areas. But I think that when you get with a good man, you have to have some sort of balance. You still have to honor the good man as the head, of the house. If your intent is to get married and be with that person long term and win together, you should be able to balance those things, because when you get with a good man, he's going to want to see you win as his woman. He's going to want to see you win as his wife. So you won't have a battle there. Another thing, and these are just some points, another thing is communication is a very, very big deal. And today, a lot of us have not had practice with cohesive communication. So, and then understanding, because you could say something and then it could be interpreted another way. I've been guilty of that myself. So I think that those are some reasons why you see that today, why a woman will push to get married, but she's actually not equipped to take on what comes with being a wife.
Right. But then should
think all of that is
men-
like
what you said, Blanca, you about to say something?
all those excuses are cop out, bro. Oh, she's being hurt so much. Oh my God, she haven't learned, bro. Nah. All that shit is a bunch of bullshit. And I know
You're
I know
entitled to your
attacking you,
opinion.
lady. I know attacking you, lady. Don't
Oh, no,
take it.
I'm not
Don't
saying
take
you
it
are. Oh,
personally.
no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
What I'm saying is that women, for the most part, and starting high school, all of us went to high school. Yes, women in general start jumping from dick to dick. Okay. At the time she's ready to settle down with some guy, whatever. What's the average age? Ali, I heard you say that before. I don't remember the name of the top
That
of my
women
head.
want to get that women want to get married?
Yeah. At the
29.
age that they get married, right? 29.
29.
Is it safe for me to say that they start getting buzzed down around 15, 16?
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of like the average age, right?
Yeah.
Bro, that's a 15-year career of they getting buzzed down. You see what I'm saying? So here's the problem. Once you go down that road, you mentally get messed up. You cannot do what we do. You see what I'm saying? We can be with 40, 50, 100 women. That ain't going to hurt most of us. We still chart. We still can operate from ear to ear, right? Once a woman get piped down by 10 plus guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's for the street at that point. That's a street activity. Meaning that it would be it's not impossible, but it becomes very complicated for her to actually be with one guy, because her track record indicates that she cannot stay down with one guy. As soon as everything goes south, whatever the case might be, she's gonna bounce and jump on the next dick. Every 2 years, they got a new dick.
Can I respond to that? So Blanco, I don't disagree with you, but what I was saying, and what I hope I elaborated on when I was speaking, was that that behavior was demonstrated from somewhere. She didn't, a young woman is not waking up and just saying, oh, I want to be promiscuous. I want to, you don't know. Some things are caught and some things are taught. So you can become a product of your environment. Something can be demonstrated to you. It can be something seen, and those things can happen. So I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is she had to learn that behavior from somewhere. And therefore now, as you were saying, it's going from this to this to that. She's just modeling the behavior that she's seen. And I'm not saying that it excuses the behavior, but I'm saying it came from somewhere because Ali asked me a question. Why do I think these things are happening?
Yes,
You
but
understand?
is it a cop out when if a woman mistreats me, women aren't going to justify me mistreating other women? Because if we're going to say it warrants you mistreating a man or not being able to treat a man well, that means that no man should wife up a woman. He should dog out and disrespect every woman because his heart was broken initially. Most of the men in high school, middle school are getting their hearts broken, and then that's why the market gets muddy. Men are suckers for love. So if we're going to accept that, and we got to remember it, if a woman justifies mistreating and disrespecting a man and not knowing how to be a woman that shows up in a relationship, then men have every right to dog out women, run through them, disrespect them, and completely dismiss anything they need from them. That would have to be the justification or the actual conclusion of how we used to see these relationships. Until women earn, we have to go back to women earning relationships. They don't think they have to prove anything. They and like you said, even that. Your thought, like I said, your thought is understandable and your perspective is understandable. But the women will say, literally, we'll talk like this. Hey, what happened to you? Why so serious? Like, why you feeling like this? Boogie say his story, Big Aaron, all of us say our story, or except for Big Aaron. Man, who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Exactly what they gonna say.
Exactly.
So they're gonna ask the men who hurt them, knowing that they hurt the men, but they want to be able to mistreat men and us look over their so-called trauma. And accept it because one person hurt them, but it's an excuse, Chris, because they know how to treat everybody else good. And I keep saying this,
but I'm not excusing the behavior. I said that earlier. I said you shouldn't excuse it.
No,
I'm saying don't excuse it.
Right. No,
and don't repay.
We're not gonna say you're making the actual excuse.
No. I'm saying you guys should not excuse the behavior. Yes, women in general. You shouldn't excuse the behavior.
And I said this before, few shows back. Women respect everybody but a man, and a man won't let nobody disrespect them but they women.
Facts.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Yep.
I don't understand it all. So I don't know why we so devalued for valuing women more than anything. When a woman puts us at the bottom of the totem pole, even Lucky admitted before she left, we're at the very bottom of her totem pole, but we treat her better than everybody.
No, I'm totally understandable. And again, to what I said earlier when you asked me the question, I don't believe you should excuse the behavior, and I don't think you should be or stay with a woman like that. I don't believe that you should repay evil for evil. But again, like I said, there are so many things in our world, in our society today that are promoting this bad behavior. And so women are following this trend. It doesn't excuse it. But if you look, like I'm sure you guys watch all kinds of entertainment, whatever, and you can see what is being promoted to women today. You can see how there's promotion where it's devaluing the man today. Right. Again, like I said, because I follow biblical principles, I believe it's an agenda of the enemy to remove the man out of the home. You take the strong man out, you can cause all kinds of havoc in the home that affects everybody. It affects the children. It affects how they're raised and how they're brought up. And so therefore, there's an issue all around.
So then you would agree. So you would agree, as we continue to walk this down, when we're talking about the equal conversation, that the man is superior than the woman if she's easier to compromise, right?
Yeah. The man is definitely
and not to take away from her value and how powerful she is.
Not at all.
But if she's so easy to compromise, you would think that he's the one that's supposed to be at the top.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead, my brother. Watch the series.
I'm chewing on candy cane. But my question to Chris is,
sure.
I've been on podcasts. I've done this in person. Why didn't you not call Lucky out on what she was doing and being disingenuous?
What part?
On all of it.
Well, I only heard some of what Lucky said, and I did when she spoke. I said she had some fair points in regard to what she was saying, but I don't know which parts exactly.
You didn't hear her. Then that's on me. But what I'm saying is that goes back to why men say it's hard to choose between a good woman and a bad woman, because the bad women, not saying you, but in most cases, the good women will stand beside the bad women and let the bad women say disingenuous stuff about men, knowing doggone well, let the bad woman lead the area, lead the conversation. I don't know what's up with her. She crazy. Well, why didn't you call her out in person? That's another thing.
They won't do it.
It depends on the caliber of woman. It depends on the caliber of women, I would say. Because, like, for instance, with my friend group, we will call each other out, you know, like, sis, now you know you was wrong. You know, you need to clear that up. You know, I've had conversations like that where it's been to me, or I've had to say that, you know, and you can talk firm, you can talk in love, and then they'll understand and you go from there. But I think again, it depends on the caliber of women that you're dealing with.
I mean,
can I ask a question?
Sure.
To Ms. Chris, yeah. Do you believe it's part of the demure? It's a component of the demure nature of a woman to be non-confrontational.
Okay, so define the word demure for me, because that's not something that I use often. So what does that mean? So then that way I'll know exactly what I'm answering.
Reserved, restrained, laid back. The opposite of assertive.
Do I
Not
believe
shy, but controlled restraint.
Do I believe that is a woman's natural nature?
No, I'm saying, do you believe if a woman is demure, part of that is going to be that she's non-confrontational?
Okay.
Is that true?
If she's demure, she's going to be non-confrontational.
Yeah.
Most likely, it just definitely depends on the situation. So to better answer your question, I would have to know the situation. But yes, if a woman is more demure, if we're using that term, she would probably practice more restraint.
Right.
But again, like I said, that goes to what she's seen, what she's been taught, because some things are taught and some things are caught. You know, I'll give you a real good example of myself. Like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Steve Harvey show back in the day with Regina King, who was the principal, the lady who played, you know, Regina King as the principal. You know, when I was a young girl, I used to see that, and I saw how she dressed, and, you know, I just liked her personality. She was funny, charismatic, she dressed well, she was educated, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, you know, I want to dress like that when I get older, and I want to kind of be a little bit like that when I get older. So it was some sort of a good model. My mom, fantastic role model. You know, her dress style, which was not inappropriate, was a little different than that. But I was like, oh, you know, that's why I said some things are taught and some things are caught. But yes, to your point, yes, a more demure woman, she would practice more restraint and more self-control.
But he asked, is she like? You're asking if she's naturally that way, Big Aaron?
Would a component of that be that she's going to be non-confrontational?
Most likely. That kind of woman is going to be more non-confrontational with you. She's
Right.
going to want to have a conversation with you and talk things out rather than just be like,
Yeah, or like if there's like a contentious conversation outside of her, that she's probably just going to observe it rather than interject. So why so serious? I think because what we have here is a relatively demure and non-confrontational woman, it's up to men to offer her a way in or to pave a way in to stop the conversation and say, you know what, Chris, what's your opinion on this? Rather than to expect her to just jump on the girl. I don't think she's going to do that because that's part of the feminine nature of being, you know, demure and non-confrontational.
yes, I'm not going to.
She's not going to be assertive naturally. You would have to assert for her.
I would have. You know,
But
to some of the things.
it's mostly men on the pod that was getting on Lucky, so I didn't want to.
No. But the thing that makes her a certain way is the fact that you conceded to her, and then when she left, you asked that question.
Oh no, but you have to go by what I heard.
It looked like you conceded.
Yeah, no. Well, I was saying, I saw she had a point.
You my man. Yeah, you my man. 100 grand.
Because she
had a point in regard to the emotional checkout. I'm sorry.
So it's like, well, I'm not finna pride this one when I know she's not gonna be.
I know, but you didn't keep going. You conceded. That's why
I did keep going.
Oh, you talking about
my point? She proved my point on her previous.
No, she proved her point on her own, but you didn't. No. You hold on. Why so serious? You my man.
Okay.
I've been hyping you up.
You wanted me to dig and pry?
No, I didn't. No. You let it. You could have been like, hey, Lucky, you can say what you're saying, but I don't agree with that. But you said, okay, I agree with you. That's what you did.
No, I said I digress.
I got to go back and look. You might be right.
I said I digress.
And look, and you know, I don't know. You my man. I like you. I'm hyping you up. You my man. I love you when you come on the show. And I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. But it looked like that's why she said why you ain't call out, because you said something, and I was like, oh. Remember, I said, oh, no, hold on, no. Why so serious? I said, remember, I hit the Mario button. I said, you gonna let her get that like that?
And yeah, but I said I digress, and then that's when Boogie was like, she's not gonna be honest with him, so I see why he stood down. That was like they do it all the time. Now I tried to call her out on something, but she left. I was like, I just talk to me. Forget what they talking about. She left. I just wanted to ask.
I'm gonna go back and look. That's why she said that. Because
since she in the comments, ask this. Since she say men don't leave like this. If a married, and it's to the married women on the podcast. If you're married, because a lot of women bring up the Bible, but I think they only bring it up to benefit them or win an argument. Not Miss Chris, because that's all she talk about. But what I'm saying is, join back then. But what I'm saying is, if you and your husband can't get along, you supposed to stand by them vows. To death do you part. If your husband ain't cheating on you, you not cheating on him. Y'all just can't get along. And he tells you, our last child is 13. When he turned, we can stay together. Fake the funk.
I wasn't the only one, and you usually not like that. You hold your own, but you let it. I'm telling you what you did. That's why I was like. Remember, I went just like this. I said, because I thought you weren't gonna let up. Like, I'm okay with you not over pursuing. It's the way you stop. It's the way you stop.
No, because I said the wrong thing when I should have been like privilege. I said you a woman. I was like, you a woman, so you get the privilege. When my mind was saying you're pretty, you are attractive, so you pretty.
And that might be true right there. That might be true right there. I might be lucky. That might be true right there.
You're a victim.
I mean, I can hold my own. It wasn't about this. Just in my head, I was like, I used the wrong word.
You know why so serious? I think if you did ask her the question while she was on, she struck me as the type of person that would tell you the truth.
Trey, you finna call me out?
Yeah, nigga, you pussy.
Oh man,
Damn.
Trey, come on, Trey, you can't do that. Trey, come on, Trey.
Oh my God.
Nah.
Hey, real talk, Trey, because you know I look up y'all. Tell me what I did wrong. Because I feel like
hold on. Hey, why so serious? We gonna mess with you, right? But like you one the person we hyping up in the space. You a breath of fresh air, fam. The only thing you should have said, you like, look, I'm not over pursuing because it's not a good look to over pursue, right? But you demonstrating them type of behaviors, but I'm gonna leave it alone. But you said was you right? It was like you right and you let it go. That's why I said, dang, why so serious? You letting that go? And I hit the button.
I could have sworn I said I digress.
I'm gonna go back and look.
Anybody I could have sworn I said I digress.
I say I'm wrong. I start the show and go, I was wrong. I'm gonna go back and go look if I can find it. But it looked like you said she was right.
No, I ain't say I will never, man.
No, he did say I digress.
He kind of let it go or leave so he can continue.
Yeah, he's like, I digress.
That's what I
step back.
Hey, I know, man.
Fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next?
If he said that, then I'll stand down. I'll say I'm right.
I want to know what Trey about to say.
He about to say the same thing. He just big Trey.
Ain't say nothing, man. They ain't got nothing to do with me, man. You gotta stand on your square though. You're a man, my boy.
I did, and she ended up right. But I just knew the conversation.
Shout out to the panel. What's good, everybody?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
I think you do perfect majority of times, fam. And I don't think you scared at all either. I just think like when
I just messing with
he just messing with you. When she said that, it just seemed like I gotta go back. And if you say I digress after you said what you said, then I gotta fall back to I was nah, he did the right thing. If you did that, I say you did the right thing.
Trey, how often do you hear me say I digress?
A lot.
I heard you say it often.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and watch though.
I'm never gonna concede.
Everybody make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I make mistakes too. So
play your fucker.
Raised quick after I said I wanted to ask her a question. How is that me not trying to talk to her? She left. I was like, Elsa, talk to me. Even when Boogie was
you got a point. He got a point, Lucky. He got a point. Lucky hit us with the V card. She hit us with that V card.
When Boogie React jumped in, I said, don't talk to him, ignore him. Talk to me. Even Aaron called out the ignorance.
Lucky gotta come back, man. Lucky, you gotta come and make it happen, man.
Where she order food from?
Uber Eats.
Fleming's.
Hey, she was eating big too. She got to go finish that Fleming's plate.
Yeah, that's some little meals, man. Fleming's don't give you that much for.
I just be want to ask women because they love the Bible. If your husband came to you, chill. If your husband came to you and was like,
look, that's all he got to do. That's all he got to do. That's it. That's all. And actually, he probably if they is that son or daughter?
That's my son.
He ain't even got to do that. If he saw you, He probably stopped too. That's all you gotta do.
Hey,
He
that's
stopped.
why he ain't come around.
Trey
the
be the
corner.
same. Trey be like, hey man, come here. Come
Yeah, if your husband came to
and they know, and they know we don't
All
be
I gotta
playing.
do
Like,
is breathe.
hey, Chris, why do women love when we do that to everybody but them? Like, when y'all see us check people or say something, y'all be like, "Ooh, that's my man." But as soon as we get to checking you be like, "You toxic."
I'm out of the cave. So let me
Okay.
answer you
All
out of
right.
the
Why are you talking to me like that?
It's great. You can check everybody but her. She loves it. Soon as she with you because she see it. She see the energy. She see your assertiveness. Soon as you say,
So,
"Hey, I don't like that."
My answer to that, obviously, if we see our man handle a situation, we're gonna like that. When it comes to us, I think naturally women have a tendency to want to be right. I've been guilty of that myself. So I think that is why I wouldn't use the word toxic, but I think that's why women will use the word toxic.
They use the word toxic because what?
Well, you said you use the word toxic, but they have a tendency to want to be right. They don't want to be wrong. So if you are checking them,
But when they
about
right, they
something,
wrong though, ain't they?
right?
How they
right?
right?
But they would like to be right.
It's
So
crazy.
if you check them about it, they're gonna have issue with that. Yeah,
It make no sense, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
How do you counter somebody that has no count? Like, you can't counter them if they choose not to cooperate. If they choose for you to be wrong and them to be right, but they wrong. How do you counter that?
Well, what I would say is you probably won't be able to counter that outside of prayer. But my addition to that is this: before you decided to take a long-term step with that individual, I'm sure that she showed you some yellow or red flags before you got all the way there.
Okay. Oh, hold on, Chris. I know you ain't Chris. I know you ain't
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Chris. Chris.
Yes.
Why y'all keep doing?
What?
Why do y'all gotta keep Chris? If I make a commitment to something, I should honor it and show and demonstrate my behaviors that I made a commitment to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But before
Well,
you actually cross the marriage,
no. The red flag shouldn't. The red flags.
Yeah.
The thing she was doing prior to that.
Yes.
Once she engages in a commitment, just like me.
Yeah.
Right. When I met women, they knew I was
Yeah.
messing with 50,000 women.
Mhm.
They knew it, and they were competing without saying it. They knew it. We ain't never talk about it, but they knew it. You get what I'm saying? Like, they knew it. Nobody had to communicate to me, Ali. If you're gonna get with this woman, you're gonna have to be monogamous. Don't cheat on this woman. Don't lie on this woman. No one had to communicate that to me, and I was outside. So, so why if a woman does that, why don't we tell the women, oh, you should have saw the green? And we ain't talking about women like to go to the extreme, but why didn't she see the red flags? Why did she have to vet better?
She should have. No, what I'm saying works both ways.
Because most men alter their behaviors to be. Chris, the only time men change is for their women.
Okay.
So shouldn't be. So the only time a woman should change too, if she can't change, and damn sure can't do nothing else for nobody else, should be for her man.
If she wasn't demonstrating the change when you were with her, she had no intention of changing when you guys decided to make
But
it
most women don't lead with that though. Most women don't lead with
That's
not
true.
change behavior.
That-
They lead with
that's
change
true.
behavior. They will change
that's true.
they'll change their Facebook, IG, the way they dress, everything. They'll start cooking, cleaning, they doing everything. Soon as they get that relationship and soon as they get that ring, they the worst version of themselves. They go right back to, you know what? I want freedom again. I lost myself. I lost my identity.
Disingenuous. That the reality
Not
is she was
disingenuous. Why she
was
can't
dis-
just be a hey Chris? Why can't we just say she's not a good person?
she wasn't being a good person.
No, not being a good person. Why can't we say she's not a good person?
The thing.
You see how hard it is? Like if any man came up here and we found out they weren't taking care of their kids, we'll say that man trash. Trash. I need that clip
Straight
too.
garbage.
Trash. If he out here deleting, if he out here messing up the community, trash. If he cheating on his woman and he has a justification to cheat on his woman and she ain't doing right, she loving her man, taking care of him, trash. Like we'll say these men are trash. Y'all will not say women are trash. She's traumatized.
They'll say it behind her back though.
Hey, she's looking for herself.
You see that smile on her face, Ali? You see that smile?
Hey, Trey, she's healing. She's healing, Trey. She's healing.
Listen, she'll get baptized in lava before she say that. Bro. That's crazy.
Yeah,
You know what?
it's always an excuse, right? It's
I'm
always
working
the
on being out of
eternal
my
excuse.
cave, honestly. I think a lot of times I have a
Now,
tendency to internalize, meaning what I would do
the,
versus what the majority would do. And so yes, the majority it is a challenge to say someone is
now
not a good
the
person.
the new one now is the new one that I've been hearing for the past 6 months is the one that their brain don't develop until they 25. That's like the new thing.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
all of a sudden now they scientists now. So their brain don't develop until they turn 25. So technically she's a child. What?
Then she shouldn't have
Really? Or buy a house.
get a car. Voting out like nothing. Then that mean that they still need to be getting filed as dependents to their parents if their mindset ain't like that. If they don't get a car,
It's funny that somebody can sign up to be in the military at 18, go to Iraq and all these places, but some way, somehow your brain don't develop. Well, why they don't use their excuse for them? What's the excuse for them?
Yeah, for the men.
How about and I actually used this argument the other day when are you familiar with Carmelo Anthony, the young boy that caught that body in Dallas? He stabbed like his teammate, something like that, at the track on the track competition, the track meet. Yeah. Nobody used the excuse for him that his brain haven't been developed. He's 17. What excuse for him at?
I guess I gotta understand. Tell me what your question is, so then that way I can answer.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a question. It wasn't a question.
Okay.
No, not at all, darling.
Okay.
Because
Let me ask you
women
guys a
get the
question.
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
Can I ask you guys a question? Okay, so if you guys are pursuing a woman and you see that she has yellow flags and you see that she has red flags, I'm not saying that she doesn't have the ability to change, but say if you see these things and they are consistent, there's really no evidence showing that she's going to change, that she's going to be a better person when you guys, or if you guys decide to get married, would you still move forward in that relationship or would you walk away?
We're not even gonna get to the point of even thinking about marriage.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That is wonderful.
Chris, you know that's
not how it is.
Hey, Chris, 71% of our women unmarried. So you know we exercising that. We more married than our women, almost 1 million more married men than our women. So you know we know how to exercise that. Okay. There's no reason to talk about that. Okay. They're not doing what's required to get married of them, but they laying on the backside and babies are still popping out left and right.
Okay.
And then the blame is put on oh man, you made her a baby mama. You had kids out of wedlock. No. She made it way bigger than what it was, and she boosted her value way more than she thought she was. Because even if we had this baby out of wedlock, even if the man did bust in this woman, most men would still take care of this woman if she cooperated, but she still don't want to cooperate.
Well, let me ask you another question. For each man on the panel, and you guys can answer individually, obviously, what would it take for you? What qualities in a woman would it take for you to marry them? What would you need to see from the woman in order to say, you know what? I'm stopping here. This is the one I want to make my wife. What qualities do you need to have? What qualities does she need to have?
Competent.
Of course. Besides the fact that you got to look good, be competent.
What you mean by competent, though, Blanco?
Be able to be understand when everything is okay when it's good, right? But how she going to be able to be smart and go in a smart way when everything going south. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Be able to be understanding and lovely. How to react to a stressful situation. Because usually they don't want to be in stressful situation, and goes back to what I'm saying. Since they start getting smashed early, the most common thing they're gonna do is get up and bounce. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to do. They're not gonna stay there like grandma. She's gonna stay over there to see it through. You know what I mean? They're gonna just get up and start with a. Go ahead.
So you will require a woman to be able to weather the storm with you, basically.
But the problematic part about that is, when you ask, it's like us. You have to ask a man what he would have to do. A woman to have a husband, when most of us know what she'd want from her husband. It's in the Bible, especially women who a lot of women profess to be Christians and hold the Bible, right? Mm-hmm. the Bible says the woman, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing
and obtains favor with the
so
Lord.
that
Yep.
everything that a wife embodies is what that woman should emulate. And the biggest part about that is the ability to cooperate and be agreeable with the man that she chose. She shouldn't be pushing back on this man.
Is it fair to say though that there are some women, just because there's a ton of different caliber of women out there, is it fair to say that there are some who actually have no idea what a man is? Just, hypothetically speaking, women don't know what a man would want to.
But it becomes,
get
and this is
married.
what I love about you being intentional, right? And I'm hoping you being intentional. They know how to do they know how to do everything else. They know how to get up a pole and spin around it and do tricks on it, do other things with their body, but they're not working on how to be a wife, Chris. This is
You remember what I said earlier though, when I said that some things are taught and some things are taught.
Can you address look, they know how to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
They know how to get a job. They know how to learn responsibilities that they didn't have. They know how to be a soldier. They know how to do all these things that they put their mind to, because they can do whatever they want to do, but they can do everything but actually be a wife.
Yeah.
She has to want to be. That's something she has to want to be. That's nothing.
Yes.
It shouldn't be my obligation to teach her and tell her what she needs to do. It shouldn't.
No.
So get what I'm saying though. When you ask,
but I
was asking your personal requirement.
What we are looking for.
Yes, I was asking.
I know that, Trey, but I'm not saying Chris is not being intentional, but that's something that if we want to be husbands, we need to learn how to be a husband. We need to work on being a husband. And most women, and I'm not taking anything from what Chris, because I think Chris is intentional. That question is asked constantly, and so many women have no idea what it is, but they're a woman of God. All of them are women of God.
Ali, the difference is that different men, all men are not looking for the same requirements.
Right. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
No, on the surface level for sure, but at the end of the day, I think she was just asking for educational purposes only, right?
Yeah.
But if I ask her, hey Chris, what you think? Most men want the same thing. They'll say we don't. What do you think most men want?
Cooperation, silent.
So
3 times sections per week.
Hold on, not Blanco. I said Chris.
So I'm coming out of my cave. I'm coming out of my cave with some of the things that I heard on the panel yesterday. Was to be quiet, have sex, and you know what? I forgot the third thing, but those are some things that that's exactly. That's what I heard on the panel yesterday.
That's crazy. You led with that first. That you led with quiet. That's crazy.
But you know what? That's what I kept hearing the most on the panel yesterday. So that you asked me, what did I think most men want?
Who said that?
Uncomfortable Truth said that.
One.
A lot. He said it a lot. But okay, so
no, Chris. No, Chris. That's one.
That's one person. Yes.
Keep going.
And then Ali, I think I remember you saying something about intimacy.
No, Chris. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I want the other people who said they need their woman to be quiet.
I didn't hear anybody else say they want their woman to shut
Chris,
up. I just heard uncomfortable.
Most men don't tell that.
Yeah.
Most men typically they woman gonna be the talking. Most men ain't be talking. Most of what we talking about, she just be gonna run. Oh yeah. What? Girl, you crazy.
We just hope
she did her job. Cause she don't want most of the time women ain't trying to hear what you talking about.
Yeah, we just hope her mouth don't put me in a situation where I gotta do 25 to life.
I'll answer seriously now. I think that you want peace. I think that you want physical intimacy, and I believe that you want somebody to make sure they prepare food for you. Those are a few things.
That's 3 core things.
Those are a few things.
That's most men. The key. When I was growing up, in both sides, my mom from one side of the world, my dad from the other side of the world. All the women knew that the key to a man's heart is his stomach.
Outside of that, though, qualities though is what I was asking. Like, what qualities in a woman would cause you to say, hey, I want to invest this lifelong? That's what I was wondering, because I'm sure that like all of you guys are different on the panel. And if a woman were watching this would be really insightful for her to understand from different types of men on the panel to explain the things that they're looking for. We got from Blanco that he said he wants a woman to be competent, basically a woman who's going to be able to weather the storm with him, that is going to stay 10 toes down pretty much if things are going good and if things are going bad.
So you
So
know
that's
one
one
thing.
perspective.
So you know what one another core thing is, if you want to say traits, right?
Yeah.
You know, women will say, I want men who communicate, right? Even though they're doing the most of the communicating, men love a woman who sounds extremely feminine. Like it's
Okay.
like
Facts.
she puts you in a trance. Like the Claire Huxtables,
Yeah.
like how Claire Huxtable, like a woman who talks like a lady, like it's commanding. Like a man wants to listen to that. He don't. It like what. He ain't even listening to the words you saying. Like you already got him in a trance. Like when a woman embody that femininity, like the way she talks. A lot of women, I keep saying, sound boisterous, and they got bass in their voice, and they trying to sound kind of manly, but they not men. But they put bass in their voice, so they're a little bit more assertive. That's very unattractive. I remember the first time I started hearing women saying "bruh," like I was like, "What?" And she like, "Nah, bruh." I was like, "What you just say?" Like it was one of the most unattractive things I ever heard. But there's a lot of women that say "bruh" now. Like there's a lot of things that went the way women communicate. It's like what she talking about, like so unattractive. So a woman who sounds like a lady, she walks like a lady, she dresses like a lady. Her hair natural.
They got switches now.
The way your hair is, a woman who has natural hair, natural, even though they lie to us and go, "Oh, y'all want BBLs?" No, we don't. We hate the BBL is worse than the breast implant, like way worse, and it probably smells too. But most men don't want no woman with no BBL. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want none of that. I don't know. I mean, y'all want BBLs?
Hell no.
I'm not gonna say I want it, but I've dated several women with them, but they already
but you already know what you're doing with the BBL.
Nah.
I said you already know what you're doing with them BBL.
What about
all natural?
I think the smell part is like I think that's a myth. I never experienced that. I think that's more like
These
a
BBLs killing y'all.